rough, rough day. Hey, everybody. What is up? Welcome to my live stream, my K-pop weekly live stream. I got my notes. I like to say hello to everybody. We're going to do my little intro. Annyeong, annyeonghaseyo. Konnichiwa. Nihama. Hola. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. And just plain old hello. And hey, y'all. Hey, y'all people in Texas. Hey, y'all. How y'all are? Welcome. Hey, BTS lover, BTS lover Jungkook, and everybody else that's here. Welcome to my channel. I'm trying not to be too long today, but this is my intro. I do have memberships. Next week, I'm going to try to give away free memberships. I know I said that last week, but I got to be on a laptop in order to give away free memberships. I got to be on a computer and not my phone, and I record on my phone. So today has been busy, so I didn't have time to get on my laptop. But I will be giving away free memberships next week. I promise y'all, I swear. But for me to set up my laptop, it's a whole thing, and I got to move locations, and I can't be here. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So I have to set up something to put my laptop on, so y'all understand. This is my weekly K-pop live stream. What else? What else housekeeping do we have? Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you look at my posts underneath my community tab or the post tab, community tab. I don't know what it's called right now. YouTube keep changing it. I have hit 3,000 subscribers, so I'd like to thank everybody. I haven't thanked everybody officially, but this is unofficially thanking people for being 3,000 subscribers. My channel went fully K-pop in January of this year, so it's because of all my K-pop fans that I actually have 3,000 subscribers. It is wonderful, just weird, wonderful, and wild that I have more than 3,000 now. I'm on my way to 3,100. So we have a full docket today. What else was I gonna say? If you're into fan fiction, you can check out my Wattpad. Hello, Marie Miller. You finally been waiting for this live. It's been an awful week. I know it's been an awful week, Marie. I'm with you, girl. Yes, I did, BTS lover. I did. I did, and was like, well, okay. It was like, oh well. I was just like, I'm not the compassion police. I'm not that person at all. I'm not that person. But it's just been a busy week. Again, like I was gonna say, oh yeah, Wattpad. Like if you are interested, I am on Wattpad. I'm Nomadic Kitty FF. F is in Frank, F is in Frank. So if you guys want to join there, it's where I put like all of my fan fiction, BTS fan fiction. It's an ongoing story. There's people who have been, am I sad? No, never sad about somebody. I don't know. No, not sad. Never. This is the same person that said that black women were stupid and inferior. And I'm like, so am I going to be sad about that? No, I'm not. And then on top of that, I'm not a religious person. So if I'm not a religious spiritual person like that. So there's people who are spiritual people and pious Christians and Muslims. That ain't me. Nah, that I'm not. I don't run in the piety crowd. So I'm not like, oh, I mean, respect everybody who is religious and whatever beliefs that everybody has. But for me, I'm like, I'm a pragmatist. I'm a hardcore pragmatist. Hello, Katina. Um, I'm a realist. I'm a pragmatist. Uh, uh, I've seen it. I've seen it. Anybody that disparages MLK or black people, it's not going to too much support from me. If you think that MLK is a horrible person, then you're not gonna get nothing from me. I've watched whole things, not clips, whole things for a long time. For a long time, you're not gonna get much from me at all, at all, at all. I'm not. I've never been. Will never be a conservative person. That's not my political slant. Hey, Deidre. So if that's what you think, I've listened and read and the things, and then on top of that, anybody who's anti-trans or anti-LGBTQIA, no, never, Never in my right mind would I ever be um anti-trans or anti-gay. I'm not trans, I'm not gay, but never. Besides any kind of racist things, I'm not, never, never in my life you would ever hear me disparage that community, because that's just not, never. So besides the racism, people bring that up and I'm like, okay, gay people, I'm not gay, but I love gay people. I support my anybody. Like I'm not, I've had people, I don't even know any gay people. Yeah, but he preached and create. Again, BTS lover. Besides the racism, um, it's the sexism. It's the anti-LGBTQIA thing, and it's the anti-abortion thing. Nah, I don't support that either. Just because I'm a black person, don't mean I don't care about other groups of people. I do. I do. So I don't support that. Anytime I just because I'm not in that, um I do agree with it. Yes. Yeah, just because I'm not, I've never had one. I have two kids, but just because I'm not gay, I'm not trans. I don't know any gay or trans people, but I support them. I'm an ally. I believe in freedom. I'm a hardcore, I guess you would say libertarian. I believe in freedom. And then again, what kills me is a religion thing. When I tell y'all in my video that I used to be in a religious cult, some of y'all thought I was kidding. No, I'm serious. I used to be in a religious cult, a Christian based religious cult. So anytime anyone's political start talking about Christianity and God, nah, bro. Like I said, people, y'all thought I was kidding. Marie was like, "Oh, I thought you was being funny in the video." I'm like, "Nah, I used to be religious in a Christian cult, or I would say not a cult. I would say the proper word is a high control religion. So I was in a Christian high control religion. So if anybody's up here talking about anything that has to do with that, my eyes glass over. I'm just like, nah, I don't do that. I don't do that. I That's your beliefs, but I mean, I don't believe in that. Again, like I said, the religious angle is enough for me. That's enough to turn me away if somebody is professing to expound some views based on some, biblical. They can believe whatever they want to believe. But am I going to listen to it? No. If you are talking about MLK was a horrible person, no. If you're talking about these people got hired who are DEI, who are black women who look like me, no. My humanity is not up for a debate or an argument, or my intelligence, because I know I'm a very intelligent person. I know the things that I face personally as a woman of color, dealing with people throwing barbs at me. I'm well qualified and well educated. And I've had people throw things at me like asking me for my qualification. No, you're not. Like, no, I've dealt with that personally. People questioning my education and my intelligence and whatever, just because I'm a black woman and they think somehow I got there because I got some hookup or I was a diversity hire. No, I have to check people really quick and be like, I'm not. So if anybody start talking about that kind of stuff, I'm done. Like I'm not. I'm just like, oh, we're on that. Oh no, then that really is a inflection point, a trigger point for me because I've had to deal with this professionally in the career that I have, in my previous career as well. And so people asking questions and I'm just like, no. I had to shoot people down all the time. I'm not down for that. Anytime you start saying stuff like that, anti-DEI, nah, I'm like, okay, bro. No. MLK was a bad person and he was okay. All right. The civil rights legislation and civil rights, he didn't believe that there should be a civil rights laws and no. I went to law school. I'm like, no. Anti-abortion? No. No, I'm not gonna do that either. It's not those are my beliefs. It's not if you are expound that kind of belief, then I don't agree with you. Period. Period. anti-trans, anti-anything. People are allowed to, who's MLK? You don't know who MLK is? Martin Luther King? What? I'm like, wait a minute, what country are you from? BTS lover, what country are you from? I'm like, MLK? Yeah, MLK. That's Martin Luther King. It's just the way to say it without saying, yeah, like saying that the Civil Rights Act shouldn't have been put into law. No, I wouldn't be here if there wasn't one. I wouldn't be here. Oh, you've never heard anyone say like that? People say it in writing. MLK. They say it even in like newspapers, TV. Yeah, it's just breaking down its his initials. Instead of saying Martin Luther King, they say MLK. Yeah. I say it real fast, so yeah, MLK. But yeah, I don't agree with that. The Civil Rights Act, it is what it is. If you disagree with that, then that's fine. If you're talking about George Floyd and he deserved to die and not deserved to die, but he should have died. Now we're not going. No, we're not going to do that either. Or that black people commit the most crimes statistically. That is not correct at all. That's not even statistically accurate. So again, if you are throwing gays, women, minorities, immigrants under the bus, you will get no love from me. No love from me at all. Hey, ATP 86. Do I like stray kids? Yes, we're going to talk about stray kids tonight. I got a whole bunch of notes about stray. I didn't know stray kids was having a lawsuit, so we're going to talk about stray kids. Talking about no one deserves to die. I didn't say anything anyone deserves to die. You're asking, did I agree with somebody? No, I'm not. My humanity is never up for debate, period. Period. My humanity. If anyone questions my equality and my humanity as a human being, you will get no support. And that's true for everybody. If somebody is questioning your equality or your humanity, at the end of the day, we are all people. We are all stuck on this planet. I am not here to police or regulate what anybody does in their life. That is not my job. If you want to be religious, as somebody who used to be religious, we separated the religion I was part of. We separated ourselves from the world, not try to change it. So I can say that. Now I may admit to being in a cult. Y'all, but we separated ourselves from people. We did not want to change the countries that we are in. And and Jehovah's Witnesses are worldwide. So the only thing I can really say good about Jehovah's Witnesses, even though we're Jehovah's Witnesses, not we, they are a very conservative religion. Jehovah's Witnesses were trying to convert people, but they weren't trying to take over the world. They weren't trying to make the United States into some Christian nation or country or any other country. They felt like they wanted to be separate from everybody else. And whether that be good or bad, that's up for debate. It's horrible for me. Right. Thank you. I'm here, made my own black woman business. That's it. That's how I feel. ATP 86. It ain't got nothing to do with the 92% that I'm a proud member of. So I'm with you. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It didn't come from our community, and then HBCUs are threatened because of this man's untimely demise. That had nothing to do with us. That just tells you the mindset of this country, that somehow black folks, we always get it. And it has nothing to it be stuff that ain't got to do with us. And somehow we get dragged into it. I'm like, I'm a black woman. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Y'all want to do this? Okay. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Like I said, there are people out there who are like, I don't even know who this person is. I'm like, I barely knew it, but I went on an expedition. I'm like, okay, I barely heard of this person, but let me go find out for myself. I don't want to take other people's words for it. But again, 92%, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Like y'all keep that over there. That ain't got nothing to do with me. It's not in my community. It's not K-pop. Who is my bias? I don't have a Stray Kids bias. I guess it would be Felix, I guess, because everybody likes Felix. But I'm not. I went to Stray Kids concert, but I'm not a Stray Kids fan. So I could say that. But I do respect Stray Kids. They had the highest selling concert. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Like I said, if anybody gives any illusions of delusions or illusions of grandeur, at the end of the day, I am a black woman. I am always going to be pushing for equality, whether it be gender, whether it be race, whether it be what it is. My politics are always left. Always. My history is left. When 25 years ago, when Everything was popping off. I'll tell y'all a story that my life has been very politically active. I spent most of my life, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I was on a no-fly list because of my political activity in my 20s. So I can say that. I was on a no-fly list. I lived that life. I was in college and I was protesting. I sat in for Wall Street. So that's my background. My background isn't like me just talking. My background is I was an election judge. That's something that y'all don't know. I was an election judge for my county for 2 years. So I've always been politically active. I come from people who were my family in Mississippi are very politically active. I have a somebody in government that is a cousin, a second cousin of mine that's very famous and well known in government. So my family has always been in this fight. If you look up, if y'all go online right now and you look up the Lowry War, those are my ancestors. My ancestors have been fighting Confederates. I mean, I'm not from North Carolina, but my ancestors are. If you look up the Lowry War, the Lowrys are my family. They are my kin. They're in my DNA. The Lowrys fought. If you'd have never heard of the Lowry War, I know a lot of people have never heard of it, but if you get a chance, look it up and you see the story. It's a very historical thing in the Carolinas, but it's a thing that a lot of people don't know. I have books on it because those are my people. My people were fighting Confederates in the 1800s in the swamps of North Carolina. They were mixed race people who fought and fought and fought and fought and fought, and they've been fighting. My people are, I have Native American ancestry. That so if anybody want to know, my ancestors are still salty. We are still my Native American ancestors who lived and died in this country, they still salty. They still angry. Like, so to us, if you ask somebody who's native, who's an indigenous, we're like, oh no, like you get a whole different political perspective than what everybody else is talking about. But my ancestors either were born here and raised here, or they were brought here. Either way, nobody has a choice of where they're born. But my ancestors have been here. Like we are in Mississippi, in North Carolina, we are the indigenous people, and then with my enslaved African ancestors who came here as well. And both of my sides come together and made me, and my family has been fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting throughout time in various ways. Throughout time, we've been fighting. And we're gonna keep on fighting. My family, they keep on. My fighting days are over. I was younger when I was out fighting, but I have kids and I have a family, and so I don't fight no more. I do K-pop. That's how I live my life. But I'm like ATP 86. I'm minding my grown black woman business. That's what I do. I didn't the fight now is for my children. It's their fight now. Again, in 4 years' time, we will leave here. Like we won't be in America anymore. My mission is to get up out of here. And my kids, once my son is in college, will not go to college here. Our goal is to get up out of here. I've been other places. I know how other places go. And my goal is for us to get up out of here, out of America. I have no reason to stay here. Like there's nothing for me here. My parents are dead. My husband's dead. There's nothing for me here. There's nothing keeping me here besides my children's education. And perhaps Jennifer, if she's watching. Jennifer's like, yeah, girl. She's like, yeah, girl. Because Jennifer want to go too. Because y'all know I'm taking my girl with me. Y'all know I'm taking Jennifer with me. Like me and Jennifer going, we going to South Korea. Y'all already know where I'm going. Y'all know I'm going to SK. So y'all know I'll be in Thailand, South Korea, Vietnam. I'm gonna be somewhere, be sitting on the beach somewhere where y'all deal with this hot mess here in America. I'm gonna be on the beach. My ancestors told me I need to rest. That's what my ancestors told me. ATP 86 said she going too. Your kids are saying the same thing, especially oldest. My kids are still in school. So my son, he like, I'm ready to go. Like once he graduate, I got my passports. We got passports. We ready to go. I don't have to stay here. I work from home. They like anywhere you want. My company is Canadian. So they like anytime you want to come on, boo. Like I'm either heading to Canada, I'm heading to South Korea, or I'm heading to the Philippines because we have offices all over the world. So they just like let them know, and they be like, we ready to roll. So when my son get out of high school, we gone. Like y'all can have this mess here. I ain't got no loyalty to this mess. This mess here. The world ain't like this. The world, you go to travel. And you will see another peaceful existence, that the world is not like it is here in America. You don't have the level of capitalism, commercial, the racism, and everything else aside. The capitalism is enough to drive me away. Bye, 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 bye. I could do a whole video preaching about how capitalism is so prevalent here. There's no sense of real community here that you see in other countries. There's no sense of civility here like you see in other countries. At least they're polite, at least they're civil. People here are very abrasive and mean spirited. I've said that all the time. Mean here. People are mean here. And I'm just like, I don't want to be around mean people. Mean people suck. I like when I go to other places and people are polite. When I talk to people online, I can always tell when they're not from here because they're much more polite and much more like, okay, the people in America, I'm like, they too, it's the culture. It's the culture. It just, we have a culture and a history of, you have to be aggressive and this rugged individualism. I don't want to live in an individual country no more. Talking about mean and miserable. Yeah, they're mean and miserable. I'm not mean and miserable. I'm a happy person. I'm not miserable. There's nothing for me to be miserable at. I got a roof over my head. I got a good job. I got great kids. I'm educated. I've came from nothing and got to where I'm at. There's no reason for me to be mean and miserable. But people here, then the thing about it is, y'all, when you're not mean and miserable, then people have a problem because they want you to be mean and miserable. I'll be like, I'm not miserable. I'm not unhappy. Or they looking at you like, oh, well, yeah, okay. Because y'all want people to be miserable. That's what I've learned about America. They want people to be upset and mean and everybody fighting with each other. Again, I pray every day that I had a husband, a white husband, who understood the dynamics of this society and everything that went along with it. And sometimes, I miss my husband, but sometimes I think like it is better that he wasn't here because we would have left a long time ago. If my husband was still alive, we would have been left. Like 2016, my husband would have been like, let's go. He would have been let's go. My mom passed away. I'm glad that she's not here because, I'm glad my mother passed away 2 years ago. And I'm glad she's not here to see this. My mother's rolling over in her grave. My husband's rolling over in his grave. Like just the level of it. My husband was not the type of person that would take things lightly. My husband was the type of person that was a fighter. And that's the reason why I got with him. And even Deidre says she agreed. I just, people want you to be miserable, especially I can say as a Black woman, they really want us to be miserable. I'm not. And I tell people I don't have to live here. Then people get mad because you tell them you don't have to live here. You know what you mean? Because you're French people. I like French people. But and you tell people, well, I don't have to stay here. Then people get mad because you don't want to stay here. I'm like, well, I ain't staying here and fight what? Baby, I deserve a life of luxury and peace and peace. I feel like that's the life that I deserve. I've worked hard. I've been through everything in my possible life. I came from nothing and built a life and have financial stability. And I've survived my husband's death, my parents' death. I've had my mother-in-law died. I've went through tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. The United States is not going to break me. It's not. I'm like, your girl's tough. I'm a tough girl, so it ain't gonna break me. Yes, I do have news about new jeans. Well, don't you say? But let's begin. I like a life of peace and luxury. I like that soft life. Liberata. We're gonna talk about new jeans, girl. I'm probably butchering your name, but yeah, I deserve a soft life. All of you guys watching this video, y'all all deserve a soft life. United States is too divided. I tell everybody get out while you can. But yeah, we're gonna talk about it. So the first thing we're going to life is too short. I'm telling them to end this on this. When I was in my 20s, I was all vim and vigor and fighting, and I was all politically active. Once I'm my age now, which is not in my 20s, I want to rest. I fought enough. I've done enough. I fought with enough people and done enough things. I am 50 years old. What? No, I want to go lay down. I want to be like this with a 25-year-old. Like I didn't been there and done that, girl. I'm like, I'm trying to, baby, I want to live the rest of my life for the days because life is very short. And my husband's death made me realize, my husband died when he was 28 years old, okay? So I know life is short. And when he died, it changed my whole life. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do what I want, say what I want, be how I want, and I'm not gonna let fear and other people stop me. And then when things started to go on here in America, I'm really like, oh, I'm out. I was like, y'all can have this bullshit here. My ancestors are telling me to rest. I don't know what y'all ancestors did, but my ancestors are screaming from the grave, get the hell up out of here, Kiki, and go somewhere else and go live your life, and we will spread our seeds to another country. Then my kids will marry foreigners, and my lineage will continue to grow outside of this country. And my ancestors told me it was okay. Hello. My ancestors told me it's okay, you know. They said, Kiki, it's fine. Just go, girl. You know, I'm like, really? Y'all sure y'all good? Y'all good? Like, I'll come visit y'all graves. Bye. You know, I'm talking to do some of my ancestors because they told me it was okay. Oh, hello. Singmin's Lost Sanity. Wow, that's a name. Girl. I'm like, shit, I ain't, y'all can, you can have all this shit. There's no reason, there's nothing to keep me here besides my children. That's it. My kids' education, they're in the middle of school, and I hate to take them out of school to learn another language. It's too much. My kids are not like little bitty. They're 11 and 15. So once my son does high school thing, I'm be like live from Seoul, South Korea. Yeah. We spend, I mean, my goal is to spend summers out not here and somewhere else. It's too expensive to live here. Inflation is too high. I live in Texas. So y'all understand, you know, I have two children, two wonderful, wonderful, smart, intelligent children who are ready to go, who are like, they don't like it here either. They just like, it's too much for them. Like, it's too much. It's just too much for all of us. And so I have to put things in place to get up out of here. And hello, Lee Norris, 143. Lee, oh, are you a Lee Now fan, I would say? Okay, so first of all, we're gonna start with BTS updates. BTS updates. Who should we start with for JK? Let's start on something positive. Jungkook did the Calvin Klein runway. Did y'all see the Jungkook thing? Did y'all see the uh did y'all see the Jungkook? Did I find my tiny tan sugar yet, Katina? No. In other words, spoiler alert, no. Anyway, I went back. I'm gonna post a video. I'm gonna post a video on Tuesday. I went back to go buy more tiny tans, and guess what? No. Okay, what happened with it's 3:26. It's early in the morning on. Hey, Shelling P. No, when did that happen with JK? JK this weekend. I think it was just yesterday, the day before. How JK how y'all like JK did what? I was like, psh, y'all must not be in my community post section. I posted a whole video. JK was at the Calvin Klein, the CK, because you know he's a brand ambassador for Calvin Klein. He was at the runway, and then he also went to the after party. You got your RM and sugar. You know what? Thank you, Lee Norris, 143. You got RM and sugar. You know what, Marie? You ain't got to rub it in, girl. You ain't got to do me like that. I didn't get. I got Jen and J Hope again. Oh, you saw JK at the Calvin Klein event. At least somebody did, because y'all are like, what? Where's this Jungkook person? Jungkook, yes, was at Calvin Klein, and he was at the after party. Now, I wish I would have been a fly on the wall at this after party, but apparently, I don't know if he didn't stay for very long. You missed it? Yeah, he didn't stay for very long. I don't think he stayed at the after party for very long. I would love to be on a fly on the wall because I've been like, baby, what you like? You at the I'd love to have been a fly on that wall. So, yeah, he was at the Calvin Klein event. He looked good. I said that he kind of looked nervous and while he was there. Oh, you saw it on YouTube. He was in your hometown. It was in your hometown. Where was he at, Marie? He was he said I'm boycotting V. Why would he boycotting V? No, don't be boycotting V. But he looked good. He looked a little nervous, you know, in the beginning when he was sitting with the audience as they watched the runway go by. He looked a little nervous, I would say, but he looked good. So that's what happened to JK, Calvin Klein. I think it was in France. Was it in France? Oh, it was in New York City. Oh, New York City. That's right, New York City. Um, so that happened. RM did a Weverse live. RM did a Weverse live on his birthday because his birthday was on the 12th. He came on and did a Weverse live. He talked about the album. I reposted the Weverse live with English subtitles. You watched the after party? Yeah, I think it was. I agreed. I think it was more of a work party for him. I don't think it was like him really like partying. But Junie, yes. Oh, she said her hubby. Um, you start running downtown to catch them. She said ATP 86 said her husband is Namjoon. Girl, okay. But Namjoon showed his hair, and his hair was a different color. It was like a light brown color. And it was short. You watched that on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I had the subtitles in there just in case you guys missed it. And he was talking about the album and nothing spoiler. He didn't spoil anything. He was just talking about that they hadn't been on tour in 6 years. And I didn't realize that they hadn't been on tour in 6 years. Like I was like, oh, that's your bias. RM and JK is your bias. So he was talking about they had BTS has not been on tour in 6 years. I didn't realize that. Like I was like, dang, has it been that long? It has been that long. The dimples, yeah, the dimples. And then he was talking about that he's not taking the sleeping pills anymore. He talked about he had surgery. He has a bump, like a kind of like a bump. I guess he had surgery or a procedure. I think he has what they call a deviated septum. Because I know he was sleeping in a CPAP machine because they were saying that he has breathing problems. So, oh, Jen, RM and Jen. So he has breathing problems, RM does. So he sleeps with a CPAP machine to help him breathe, which I work with somebody that slept with a CPAP machine. Um, and it seems very uncomfortable to sleep in. But I think yeah, he's saying he had like a little bump on his nose, and he said I guess because yeah, he snores. God, I thought it was a PS. Oh, what does that mean? But yeah, I guess he had some kind of procedure that his sinuses and nose he can't breathe and yeah, the last tour plan was right when COVID hit. Yeah, that's right. And so he was saying about the album, he was saying that they've been working really hard and recording a bunch of things. And he said he's been obsessed with trying to get the wording right in English. Like, it should it be isn't or is he thought he had plastic surgery. Oh, okay. From what I heard, he had some kind of procedure on his nose, like because he has a hard time breathing. So, like I said, I thought it was a deviated septum, which means like the canals in your nose have to be like surgically opened up. Sometimes they go in there and they put stents in them. I know somebody that had this procedure, but I don't know. Maybe it was plastic surgery. I don't know, but I thought it was. He was saying that he had a bump on his nose from surgery, but I didn't know it might have been. I don't know if it's plastic surgery or it was the breathing thing. I don't know, girl. That gets me thinking. But he talked about he was saying in the video a lot of things. He was like, well, we're not the best band. I think what struck me the biggest thing is he was saying that we are not the best band. He was saying that BTS is not the best band. However, he was saying that BTS has something that everybody gravitates towards. I'm paraphrasing, it wasn't exact words. But he was saying that BTS has this thing that people seem to like them all together collectively have this thing that people armies seem to like that attracts fans. And I thought about that and I was like, that's kind of true though. BTS, I've watched a lot of K-pop. I've been to a lot of concerts. Of course, I haven't been to a BTS concert because I'm new. And I've seen a lot of concert videos of BTS, other bands. I've been to concerts. I've looked at all kinds of live streams from different bands. And I would say, even though I try not to be biased, y'all, I really do, y'all. I try not to be one-sided. But I do have to say, like, there are bands who are great. There are K-pop groups who are really, really good and do a lot and they bring the heat. But for me, to me being an army is a testament to BTS's power. Because again, I never liked any boy groups when I was younger. I was never into New Kids on the Block or NSYNC or, whatever the boy groups were at the time. I know some people back in the day, a lot of us who are older, they could be like, oh, I like New Kids on the Block and I like Backstreet Boys and I like NSYNC. A lot of y'all come from that lineage, and that's fine. Some of y'all like pop music back in the day. I'm not a pop music fan. I was never really a pop music fan. Like there's some songs I listen to casually, but I was never into boy bands or girl groups. None of that. I mean, whatever they played on the radio that was a hit on the radio, I'll bop along to it. But I am not a pop music fan. Is a testament to BTS that I even like them, because again, I am not into, outside of BTS, that's where my pop music love dies. Like, I'm not, outside of K-pop, I don't listen to American pop music. I grew up, yes, listening to Madonna and Michael Jackson and stuff like that. That was the only pop music I really liked. Once I got to be 10 years old and I started to notice hip hop, I fell in love with rap, hip hop, gangster rap, trap music. Like, I am a hip hop rap girl. I was, everything else was just kind of like a casual kind of thing. So for me to like BTS, and yes, they are a genre of pop music, is a testament to who they are. Because I would never, if you would have told me years ago that I would be a K-pop fan, I would look at you like you lost your mind, and I would probably smack you in the mouth and be like, I will never like that crazy, crazy, crazy K-pop bullshit. I was like, K-pop? Who likes K-pop? That was my attitude. Like, when my sister-in-law was getting into K-pop back in 2016, I was like, girl, what is this, man? She would turn on songs and I'd be like, girl, and what is this? When you go to a concert, you have to ask yourself, what just happened? They are the best. I can't wait for the concert. Yeah, Namjoon kept grabbing his skin. Like, I never liked Boys to Men. Like, I wasn't really into that. I wasn't into that. But so for me to be Army is a testament to who BTS is, because I wouldn't, I swear to God, I wish I had a time machine. If I would pull the lever and go back in time and tell myself 10 years ago, girl, you're going to be in love with K-pop. Girl, it's going to be this group named BTS. You know who BTS, girl, you know who they are. Girl, I know you never heard of them, but you're going to be like in love with BTS. And they from Korea. Girl, I would look at you and be like, a boy band from Korea? Wait, first of all, boy band, stop right there. Second of all, from some Koreans? I would have been like, where the F is Korea anyway? Where is Korea? Who Korea? Who? Korea where? I don't even know where Korea is on a map, okay? I'm like, Korea. I'm like, Korean War, Korea. I didn't know nothing about Korean culture. I was like, Korea? What? Why would I like some boy band from Korea? Oh, yeah, girl. And by the way, future me speaking again, you're going to have a bias. His name's going to be Sugar, and he's going to be a rapper. Oh, wait a minute, a Korean rapper? Wait, what? The F are you talking about? I would have been like, girl, you crazy. You must be from an alternate future. You ain't from my future. I'm like, there ain't no way. A boy band from Korea and a Korean rapper? Girl, get out of here. I would have ran me off with a pitchfork. Girl, you better get out of here. I would have smacked me out. Okay, I'm leaving, damn. Because, I was a bit aggressive 10 years ago. I was much more aggressive. So I would have smacked future me, and I would have been like, girl, you better get out of here before I box up on you. Like, I would have probably tried to throw some hands on her. I would try to throw some hands on my future self. Because I would like, you are speaking nonsense to think that I would like anything that ain't rap music. I would have been like, you better turn up me some Tupac, because I am not trying to hear you, ma'am. I'm a rap person, I was HYBE back from Japan. So the idea that I like K-pop is such a weird thing that I don't know what my mom and my late husband would think. I don't know what they would think. They would be like, what? Like, it's so perplexing to me sometimes, that because this is not the kind of music that I've ever liked or grew up with or gravitated towards, for me being a hardcore hip hop girl forever. So that is a testament. So what Namjoon said was correct, that for some reason they attract people. He said, we're not the best singers, we don't have the best music, although I have to disagree. In K-pop, I feel like BTS does have the best music, but we're a little biased, y'all. But oh, Marilyn Hicks said that's exactly what she thought in 2020. She would see Marilyn with me, like, girl, I would have never thought. I would have never. I would have bet you $1 million that this was never going to happen. So the fact that a lot of us are here, and a lot of armies don't listen to other K-pop music. That's another thing I've discovered. Armies, a lot of y'all don't even listen to other K-pop music. Y'all are not interested in other K-pop music. Y'all don't like other K-pop music, or you may casually do, but it's not no other K-pop I've heard from Armies held their interest like BTS. Cordis' new song, I have a girl, Katina. We're gonna talk about Cordis. Cordis' songs is definitely up my alley. Um, and there are so many people who are like, I don't even like K-pop, but I like BTS, and I'm like, really? They're like, no, I ain't. You put on some other K-pop, they like, what's this? Girl, it's K-pop. They like, girl, they be over here making stank faces. I like the song Fashion. Yeah, I do. I like it. I like Cordis. But yeah, so RM was right. There is something about BTS that have drawn us in. So J-Hope went to Japan. I don't know what J-Hope was doing, y'all. Was he out filming something? I saw him on the airport. He was in Japan doing something with somebody. I don't know. He was out there. Let me see. Do I have any other BTS updates? I haven't heard from Jen. Sugar, no. Um, Sugar, no. I'm trying to think what else. RM's birthday, we talked about that. Jen was there for an LV event. Was he there for a Louis? I'm sorry, JK was not JK. J Hope was there for an LV event. So you're talking about J Hope, Hobie, duh. He was there for an LV event. Okay, y'all tell me. So I didn't know. Again, I don't follow none of them on social media. So everything that I hear about, I have to go and find, or I found on YouTube, or it'll pop up in my YouTube feed because somebody posted a video. They opened a museum for Louis Vuitton. Linda says she's 68. Are you Army, Linda? I appreciate you, Linda. Linda says she's 68, girl. I'm with you. I'm gonna be 68 and be Army. Look, wait a minute. Yes, okay. They opened up an LV museum. Oh, okay. Was this in Japan? Is that where he was at, y'all? Linda said yes. I don't know, Linda. You is that you in the picture, Linda? You look a little fly to be 68, Linda. I don't know. I'm looking at the picture going, wait a minute, Linda. Wait a minute. Listen, Linda. Sugar Autistic opening is next week. Yes. For the hospital wing, its opening is next week. Marie Miller. Yes. I almost forgot about that. Yes. Speaking of BTS, also BTS in a week or so, the 24th, BTS Weeks comes out. So if you guys haven't not seen it online or Weverse and not there, BTS is having their concerts come to theaters all over the world. So like each week or showtime is a different concert. Oh, hello. Oh, you can't stay. Hi, cows are done. What's up, girl? Oh, you 72 in Army. There's some older than you, girl. I know. I met a lady at an event that was like 80 and she was Army. I was like, she the dope old Army that Nam June be talking about. Oh, you getting emails about it? Yes, Katina. We've got emails. I've seen Weverses about this BTS Weeks thing. I am going. I got to pick out which show I want to go to because they have shows from like 2017, 2018. I think I'm going to go to the Sunrise, Oh, thank you, Laura. I appreciate it. Sonaru, you just turned 66 yesterday. Okay, well, happy birthday, happy belated birthday, Marilyn. But I think I'm gonna go to the Sonaru because the Sonaru is the one I haven't seen. I looked at the preview that they had online, and so they've shown the other concerts, but I think I've seen mostly all of them online, except for the Sonaru. I haven't seen that one, Sonaru. And yes, oh my God, yes. And then I have to talk about RM. He donated money to hospitals. Yes, he donated money to I think 3 different hospitals. I put that on my post, but I forgot to say it. Deidre says she got to go to at least one. So yeah, I'm going to the Sonaru one, and I think that's on. I think in my area it's on October the 3rd, and I will be going by myself because nobody else wants to go with me. Even Jennifer doesn't want to go. Can you believe that? Even Jennifer don't want to go. She like, girl, I ain't going. I ain't. Yeah, that's the one. Deidre wants to go see the one as well. So I will be there with my Army bomb, my light stick by myself because my kids, of course, don't want to go. And Jennifer's like, I've already seen all the concerts. So she told me she don't want to go. So yes, Jennifer said, so I'm going to be going I'm going by myself. Yeah, I'm by myself talking about. BTS, BTS. I'm be by myself, y'all. But I'll make sure I'm gonna film a little bit of it. I can't film inside the theater, but I might do the lead up. So this will be my first like watching BTS anything in a theater. I know Jungkook's movie came out last year, but once again, Jennifer didn't want to go see it with me. She's like, I'm not spending $25 because it was $25 to go see a movie about a documentary about Jungkook. I'll pass. And so it's better at home. I know, Linda. I wish we could go together. Hopefully, I'm running others. Yeah, it's at my local movie theater, and so again, this is my first experience watching any kind of concert in a movie theater. I've never watched a concert in a movie theater, so we shall see. I'm sure there's going to be other people there. Um, I might go see multiple ones on multiple days. I don't know. I'm used to being by myself anyway, so it's not too much. I just say that just to tease Jennifer because I know well, if she was watching, she would text message me in the middle of my live stream. But I'm just playing. Like I'm used to going places by myself, especially if it's K-pop oriented. Unless it's a concert. Now she will go to a real concert, but she don't want to pay to see a concert in a movie theater. She's like, I don't want to be in no time, which I understand. I totally respect that. I get it. So I'm not gonna force her to go. Like I respect her boundaries. You went to see JK and HYBE Theater concert. Oh wow, really, Katina? I this will be my first time. I always experience a lot of firsts. So I'm popping my BTS. I'm popping another BTS cherry. Anyway, so I think those are all the updates. Does anyone have any other updates? Any other notes? I feel like I'm holding church service. Does anyone have any notes? Whenever you go to the bathroom, make sure you hold your finger up. For those of you who grew up in the church, y'all are kikiing and y'all are cockon right now. Cause I remember I grew up in a Pentecostal church. My grandmother would take me to church, and my grandmother would be like, "Okay, when you get up and use the bathroom, you got to hold your finger up." And I never understood that. Oh my God. Like I said, I grew up in a Pentecostal. Jimin gave Junie, was it Jimin or Jin that gave, I heard it was Jin that gave Junie a ring for his birthday. I forgot the name of the brand, but it's a really, like he has a matching bracelet and a ring. And then I think Junie said, no, we're not engaged. He's like, but he gave me a ring. And it was a nice ring. And I forgot the name. Oh, it was Jimin. Well, I forgot the name of the designer. It starts with an L, but it's somebody I never heard of. I don't know designer brands, y'all. So y'all excuse me. I'm not a designer brand kind of girl. It was Jin. I thought it was Jin. Hold on. I'm finna go pull up. A ring from Fred. Yes. It was Jin. That's okay. It was Jin. Is a Jen got a ring here from Fred. I don't know who Fred is. Like the only Fred I knew was like I grew up with this dude down the street from the block. His name was Fred, and I think he was one of our cousins, but he would drink too much. Anyway, I digress. I was like, who is Fred? Lord, Fred. I was like, who is Fred? Girl, who is Fred? I'm like, I know a Fred like from the block, like when I grew up. But okay, yeah, Fred is apparently some kind of expensive designer that I never. But it was a nice ring, like it looked like a hoop, like a string tie. You had to go online and see it. I can't describe it, girl. Oh, it's a French designer. He dropped over 7 stacks. What? Woo, Marsha. Woo, that just God, it hit me. Stray Kids fan. Yes, I do know Stray Kids. We gonna get into Stray Kids in a minute. So those are all the BTS updates, I think. Let me see. Let me make sure. That's it. Okay, next thing. Hi, Stray Kids fans. Hi, you guys. I do know Stray Kids. I have 2 videos about Stray Kids on my channel, about me going to their concert, and then also a video about Stray Kids, like just an overview. So I do. Of course, I know Stray Kids. I know, like I said, I've been in their concert, and it was one of the best concerts I've seen out of all the ones that I've seen. But we're gonna get to Stray Kids because they made the news. So now we're talking about the HYBE New Jeans Bong PD updates. I know y'all all are like, "Ooh, girl, come on, tell us." So Bong PD had to he got summoned by the police this week. He was in LA. He lives part of the year in LA. They summoned him back to Korea. So he was drawn in to talk to the damn police. Oh, Deidre said we'd like to meet up. I would love to meet up with anybody who want to meet up. I travel well. I travel. If y'all need me to travel, I like traveling places. Ooh, sorry, y'all. Hold on. I didn't hit the wrong button. and I don't want my TV to start. Okay, I'm just gonna turn it off. Start going off, and then I'll get like a content thing on my channel. But yeah, I would like to meet up with anybody. We can talk as soon as closer we get. I will meet up with anybody. I'll drag Jennifer with me. I'm like, come on, girl, come on. So yeah, okay. So we're gonna talk about so Bond PD met up with the police to talk about the IPO insider trading going public kind of thing. HYBE did a whole thing about it. I mean, we kind of knew this was coming. They're going to drag Bong PD in and have him answer. So Bong PD, just to clear up everything, he's being investigated by two different entities. The police is doing an investigation, and also the financial group that runs Korea, the SFC, is doing their investigation as well. So he had to go before the police and give statements, and I'm sure they probably talked and gave him stuff like that. Minnie Jin was in court this week. Again, you can watch HYBE. He broke it down in two parts. HYBE changed out their strategy. They actually have their corporate lawyer who is testifying for them instead of like the CEO or the CFO. They actually have the corporate lawyer up there testifying and giving. And they pulled up, you can go online and look at this up. They pulled up more of Minnie Jin's cacao messages. Minnie Jin, I can sit there and say, again, I've said it before. I did a video on my channel about not about BTS, but about shamans, about Korean and shamanism. I told y'all before, because there's a bunch of cacao messages you can go read. Minnie Jin had her minions. I mean, she was doing some real dirty, dastardly kind of stuff. Like, she was having problems. She is Minnie Jin was the CEO of ADOR. The CEO, not a worker bee, not creative director, CEO. She was having problems with HYBE. She was literally sending cacao messages and emails and then copying the parents of New Jeans on these messages and emails. Very unprofessional, but she knew what she was doing. She was doing this ish on purpose. Hello, Bibu Army. Okay. GOT7 and BTS. All right. Yes. Marie, she was a snake. So she knew what she was doing by copying the parents. Hello, Sophia. So she knew what she was doing. She was doing it on purpose. And she was slowly but surely trying to drag the parents in being disgruntled with ADOR and HYBE. So again, Minnie Jin had her minions and people that worked underneath her that were sowing discord with the parents, telling the parents things and going back and forth. We talked about this. Also, she had people online talking bad about other groups. So again, here we go. What I have to say about this, we're going to get more into this next week because I don't want to get all the way into it. Le Seraphim and Illit or Islet, however you pronounce it, were collateral damage in Minnie Jin's BS. These Illit and Le Seraphim did nothing. They basically used them for collateral damage. They made up stuff, put stuff out in the media, and it wasn't personal against them. They were literally pawns in this whole game. Nice to meet you. Hello, Thailand. Hello, Thailand. So Minnie Jin basically used Illit and New Jeans too, and Le Seraphim. They like the stuff she said didn't make any sense, and she pretty much made it all up. She said to Le Seraphim, if you don't remember, where they got special treatment, and they were the princesses of HYBE, and they got debuted first, and they got all the good brand deals. Y'all remember all that? Remember she was saying that about Le Seraphim, Minnie Jin, and they knew none of that stuff. They know that stuff wasn't right. They know all of that stuff was false. There were false narratives that she fed to the media to make HYBE look bad. That's all that was. It was nothing serious. It's not like they really, really believed that. The thing with Inlet in the elevator, again, I think this is all part of a propaganda plan to put pressure on HYBE, that eventually HYBE was going to give her some deal and give her, turn ADOR over to her. This is the craziest thing. So these groups were just collateral damage because they were other girl groups. So they didn't do nothing. Y'all remember the Seraphim and the effing Coachella thing? Y'all remember the Coachella thing that I talked about? I didn't know what was going on. I talked about last year. I was like, for months, people were on the Coachella thing. For months. This went on for four. Le Seraphim performed at Coachella in April. People were still talking about this in October, y'all. New Jean had brand deals as well. The Coachella thing, I knew something was up with that. Again, I'm not a fear not. I'm not, but I like Le Seraphim. I like their music. And I couldn't understand why people were still talking about the Coachella. I heard, oh my God, this is the worst performance ever. Da, da, da. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm like, you know me, I don't take nobody's word for nothing on the internet. I don't care if people are posting clips. I don't want to see that. I don't care whether it's K-pop, politics, religion, whatever it is. If anybody is posting clips, I'm not on social media. YouTube is the only thing I have. I don't have Twitter. I don't have, or X. I don't have TikTok. I use TikTok to make videos. That's it. Everything that I look up, again, I'm a journalism student. My degree is in public relations, media, and journalism. Those are what my degrees are in. So I am a research-driven person. So I'm not going to take people's word for shit. I'm going to look it up on my own. I'm not going to watch a clip and be like, oh, well, that must be true. I'm too grown and too old for that. Again, my wheelhouse and my life's passion is writing and media and public relations, okay? If y'all didn't know that, you can already tell. I go to digging. So I'm like, I'm going to watch this Coachella thing for myself because I saw the clips and I'm like, anybody can manipulate clips and cut things to make. I am not on social media. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, none of that toxic bullshit. It is banned in my house. Let me say it again for the people in the back. That bullshit is banned off of my phones, off of my kids' phones. My kids computer is banned. I don't like TikTok. I don't like, they showing the hell on my kids don't get on X. They ain't getting on nothing X related. We don't do all that. I don't do all that. I go and research. So I sat down. I was like, I'm going to watch this Coachella thing. I watched 3 different Coachella videos. Fan cams, another fan cam, and another fan cam. Because I want to see for myself what was really happening. I watched it over and over again. And I'm like, okay, I came away from like, okay, am I missing something? So I went back on YouTube, back online. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Reddit. I don't even do Reddit unless I'm researching. People were still like dragging them. This is the worst vocal. Da, da, da. So I said, well, maybe it's something. I'm new to K-pop. Maybe it's something about K-pop. I don't know. So I went and looked at other people's performances that were K-pop and other singers and started to compare them. Compare and contrast. Now, again, Le Seraphim is not a group that's been around a long time. So they still making their way. They still have to they hadn't even toured or nothing. So I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, but this is not that bad. Why are people carrying on? And then I remember Le Seraphim was getting death threats. Y'all remember that? If y'all don't remember, I do. Because I went back, I was all in it. Because I couldn't understand what people were watching that was so horrible and so hideous about what Le Seraphim was doing. I looked high, I looked low. I still didn't get it. I was like, so what? Just, okay. Didn't understand. Now I understand with the Minhee stuff that's come to light, this was orchestrated. I knew something was up when people kept going on and on and on. Oh my God. Anyway, sorry, y'all. My Wi-Fi been acting up. Whew, anyway, what was I saying? Sorry, y'all. My Wi-Fi acting up. I was asking people like maybe I'm not seeing something that everybody else is seeing. So I was like, well, maybe I'm not seeing things. Maybe I lost the plot. Okay. So I started looking up things to see like, well, what's going on? I knew this Le Seraphim thing was a setup. So this Le Seraphim thing is when I kind of felt like there's something wrong here because people kept going on. Same thing with the sugar thing. I'm telling y'all the sugar thing. Before I didn't believe it, y'all, I did not believe it. The sugar thing, I thought y'all was crazy. I apologize to the people who was trying to tell me that the sugar thing was a setup. Because in the beginning, I just thought this was just K-pop fans. But now, after reading the Minhee Jin Kakao messages, They were doing things on purpose. They were feeding, wait a minute. These people were feeding information to the media, y'all, and dropping dimes on HYBE. Like they were sitting there calling dispatch, calling other places. It's like, ooh, we got an exclusive. Y'all, they was dropping dimes on HYBE. They was dry snitching HYBE like a month. They was dropping dimes on HYBE left and right. So they were sending news outlets, especially the ones that are friendly to me, Minnie Jen, news stories and narratives. And these news stories and narratives was just like, I'm like, okay. They were feeding narratives to the media. So I should have known something was up. Like I was like, something was up. Same thing with the sugar thing. Again, I didn't think the sugar thing had anything to Minhee Jen, and the cacao messages didn't say it had anything to do with Minhee Jen. But after reading the cacao messages this week, I am pretty firmly entrenched that Minhee Jen had something to do with the reason why Sugar was so in the media, just heavy. That they stayed on Sugar. They had their foot on his neck, y'all, all up on his throat. They had a foot on his neck the whole entire time. And now I realize that yes, this was on purpose. Like they put stuff out there to drag HYBE. And so it's just reading the whole thing is despicable. And like I said, next week I'm gonna come and we're gonna talk about it, like really, really discuss it because it's disgusting. So then New Jeans was in court the other day, and they still in mediation because they got to mediate, and he's still in hiding. Girl, Metaloop, y'all know how I feel. Y'all know how I feel about that. Y'all know that Sugar's my bias. He's my alt, and to see my alt driven into the ether, y'all know how strongly I feel about that. It's not fair. It's not right. It's not fair. So anytime anything come up, I apologize to armies. I apologize, y'all. Because anytime something come up, y'all be like, it's Minhee Jen. And I'll be like, oh, you guys are being silly. I was like, you guys are paranoid. Now I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, oh. Now I really do feel that this was black propaganda and a concerted effort for her to sow as much discord in HYBE and Big Hit as much. You know, Sugar already didn't like being a senator. Yes, and then this mess happened. And I think, again, like the guy got up there and testified that Minhee Jen Minion got up there and testified that, like, yeah, that he may have got carried away. You may have got carried away. Excuse me, what? You may have got carried away. Well, we may have got a little carried away. Like, you ruining people's lives. Like, LE SSERAFIM was getting death threats. Oh, you don't know what's happening, Joel? We're talking about Minhee Jen and the whole LE SSERAFIM Illit Sugar imbroglio that happened. But yes, and I just feel like you got carried away. You're literally ruining young people's lives. You were so mad and dumbfounded. I am still mad and dumb. I'm still dumbfounded and mad over the situation. Y'all know I'm still mad because he's my bias. No problem. But I just feel like Minhee Jen, like this was admitted on the stand that this was nothing about anything that Illit or anything these artists have done. She was just taking swipes at them to badmouth HYBE. And let me tell you something. People, the New Jeans bunnies have tried to make out Minhee Jen and New Jeans to be some champion. I'm telling you, this is how I can put it to you. Minhee Jen, the way she was trying to do things, she was trying to get investors. She met with investors in Japan. They were saying she went to Japan. She was actually meeting with investors. She went on vacation. She was meeting with investors. So she was trying to get investors to try to take ADOR and New Jeans with her by pressuring HYBE. You know, these are real people. Yes, real people, real careers you're messing with. These people are here getting death threats. They're getting grape threats to LE SSERAFIM members. Illit little girls. They like what, 17 to like 20? They little girls, they were getting death threatened because of some made up elevator bullshit. That they kind of like poked the bear with that one. And they think it's like this was just a game because they like, okay, this is all part of their plan to liberate ADOR. They had Project 1945, which 1945 was the year that Korea got liberation from the Japanese. So they thought they were liberating themselves. I'm like, ma'am, the delusions of grandeur is big with Minhee Jin. Like she, oh, like girl, liberate the company from what? It's not your company. Well, I'm watching High Boy screaming at the TV. ADOR was not her company to liberate from anything. She didn't start it. She didn't fund it. Nothing. So you mean to tell me? You mean to tell me? And then people want to bring up the argument, baby. Okay, here we go. I'm finna go off. People like, well, Hive not a good company. Okay, if I work for a company and I work for a company and I'm the head of a division of a company. So you mean to tell me because I feel like the company is doing me wrong, I get to take this division from away from this company because I feel like she was trying to say that she had a slave contract. And then people were like, if this is a slave contract, well, damn, I want to be a slave because she had a lot of perks in this contract. So Minhee Jin they broke it down. She wanted higher revenue. She wanted a higher percentage. I think she was getting 13%. She wanted 30. Girl, bye. Then the other thing she wanted say-so and control over the artist contracts. And then she wanted say-so and control over the branding deals contracts. So the third-party contracts. So in other words, she wanted all the power. So I don't know if she hated Bang PD so bad. Every time I read those messages and they hated Bang, girl, they dog cuss Bang PD. Baby, I don't know what Bang PD did to her. I don't know. If I was Bang PD, I would child. They hated Bang PD. They talked about this man like he was a dog. They called him a fat pig. They called him an MFer. Like they called Bang PD everything but a child of God. I mean, they hated him. And I don't know whether it was envy or whether he did something to her. I don't know if this is personal, but she just seemed to really hate Bang PD a lot. I was like, good little girl. Yeah, this was going on. Yeah, this is crazy. And they hated, hello, Kelly, they hated Bang PD so bad. They called this man all kinds of names. I was like, this fat pig, you fat MFer, I was like, whoo. I was like, Bang PD, I don't know what you've done, but she did. So I don't know. But my point is, it's always been Minhee Jin. I tell y'all, Minhee Jin to me, and I can put it this the best way I can sum it up. Because people are like, well, New Jeans is being treated bad. I don't think they were treated bad. Even if they were, you serve out your contract and you buy out your contract and you do it the right way to get out of your contract. You don't get to let out your contract because you don't like your boss. You feel like you should have more money. And then Minhee Jin wanted to control over everything, in other words. So again, if anybody tried to champion New Jeans and Minhee Jin like they were trying to do something good for the business, Minhee Jin, in all of her cacao messages and all of her correspondence, she did not one time say anything about we need to have better contracts, our artists need to be treated better. Like if she would have said something like that, I would have kind of been with her. Like if she would have had in these cacao messages like, I don't like how New Jeans are treated. I don't like how they're working too many hours. I don't like how the industry chews these artists up and spit them out. If she would have said anything akin to that, I would have been like, right on, sister, right on. But Minhee Jin said none of that. Minhee Jin, at the end of the day, was an overseer who wanted to be a slave master. She wasn't trying to change the system. She wasn't trying to do anything different. She just wanted to be in a big house. She wanted to be in charge of the slaves. So she was an overseer and was like, yeah, I'm overseeing these slaves. Yeah, I'm cracking the whip. But I really want to be in the big house. So Minhee Jin wasn't trying to end slavery. She just wanted to be the master. So she wasn't trying to improve anything or make anything better for these artists. She never talked about that. She just wanted to control. So again, Minhee Jin was the overseer and she was in charge of her division and she wanted to be in the big house. She wanted to be the master. She wanted to be master. That's what she wanted to do. She wasn't trying to liberate the slaves or free the slaves. She wanted the slaves underneath her and she wanted more control. I don't think for 1 second that Minhee Jin would have did anything different with her contracts than what goes on now. She wouldn't have done nothing different. She might have made the contracts more oppressive. She may have gave herself a bigger percentage. Minhee Jin wasn't trying to liberate nobody. She wasn't trying to change the industry. She wasn't trying to do nothing. She wasn't trying to be a revolutionary. She wasn't trying to help these young people. She wasn't trying to do shit. She just wanted, she was an overseer that was trying to be a slave master. That's all she was. Thank you. I'm a Gouda Thomas shirt. I couldn't imagine being that young, just wanting to have a career and doing I love, and then all that being dropped down on me. Yes, I don't know whether she was jealous of Bang PD or she just didn't like the way he did business, and that's fine. But if you, she didn't have to like HYBE or Bang PD. She could have had definite personality differences with him and how they did. That's fine. That's fine, Mini Jen. But what you do is hand in your resignation, cash in your stock options, and you use your money to create your own company. That's what people do in America. You don't take over a division and being like, I'm gonna take this with me. And I mean, that's not how it works. I mean, like out in America, there's PepsiCo. PepsiCo owns Tropicana. They own Quaker and a bunch of different brands. Each brand has a CEO. So if the CEO of Quaker don't like the CEO of PepsiCo, the CEO of Quaker don't be like, well, I don't like the board of directors for Pepsi, so I'm going to take Quaker with me in all of the Quaker, all of the cereals. I'm taking the motherfucking oats with me. I'm taking the Rice-A-Roni. I'm taking all my oats. We taking the Quaker bars. We taking the oatmeal. We taking the Quaker cereal. We taking Larry the Quaker guy with us. And we just gonna take Quaker and we just gonna liberate it from PepsiCo. That's not how that works. If the CEO of Quaker don't like PepsiCo, guess what? The CEO can resign and go start his own oat company. You don't get to take over the Quaker brand and being like, well, I'm just gonna take this division away from PepsiCo. Huh? Like that doesn't make any sense. It's not how business works. You quit, you leave, or get fired, you take your money, and you go start your own company. Plenty of people have done this. There are so many people that used to be heads of different companies that didn't like the way the management or the board of directors, whoever, and they just leave. They start their own companies. She didn't want to start her own company. She didn't want to spend millions of dollars. She just like, I'm just gonna take over this one. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Like how I'm like, girl, what? You know, nobody takes a whole division, right? You know, and then on top of that, they drug Illid and Le Seraphim were blindsided by this. Like and then, you know, you think they couldn't really say anything. You drug these young ladies down who had a dream and just was going about their measure. You just going about your business. Then all of a sudden somebody is mentioning your group's name and you're like, wait a minute, we get it like boom, 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 get it like boom, boom, boom. They was talking about get it like boom, 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 get it like boom, boom, boom. I wish for what's forbidden. Perform at Coachella and get dragged, and then Illid get dragged, and then all of this stuff. I'm just like, they were just cannon fodder. Like it was nothing really meaningful for Minhee Jen. She didn't care like that she was dragging these poor. And then New Jeans, she somehow mesmerized them and sprinkled something in they cornflakes and somehow got them and their parents to go along with all of this. And so New Jeans tried to mediate. The mediation went for about 20 minutes, and then that was it. They were 20 minutes. And nobody could agree to anything. Child, Shelly and P, Minhee Jen gonna have them girls tap dancing on the sidewalk for they gonna be out there singing and dancing. New Jeans gonna be singing on the sidewalk. If they keep this up, because they have, New Jeans is a lost cause. I said it before, in my opinion, they have no future. They have no future. Yes, they're gonna be tap dancing on the corner. They're gonna be like, you know, the shaman. I'm telling y'all, and I'm gonna say this last piece about this. I'm telling y'all, if you watch my shaman video, Minhee Jen was a true believer. None of this, I'm reading the cacao messages and none of this shit makes sense. But then when I think about, I tell y'all, Minhee Jen when you think about it in that way, I promise you, it all makes sense. When you're like, oh, okay. Minhee Jen was a true believer. She was a true believer. She really thought, I said last week, she had tapped into some sort of power, some sort of shamanistic special power. She thought that she paid enough and did enough rituals that no one's going to work with them. No one's going to work with New Jeans. They can't trust them. And then with Minhee Jin, I don't know how she's going to get work anywhere because nobody's going to trust her either. But I promise you, instead of Minhee Jin having hot sauce in her bag, I promise you she had a shaman talisman in her bag. And again, I'm not trying to drag anyone's belief or religion. I am not. I respect anybody's belief in whatever they want to believe, even though I don't believe in the woo woo. I am, again, I tell y'all, I'm a vowed non woo woo believer. I am not a religious person at all. I respect everybody's belief. I am not a religious person. I don't believe in God. Not me. But I respect everybody's belief no matter what God they do or don't believe in. But I think Minhee Jin, her arrogance was from she had spent a lot of money. They say she spent up to $2 to $3 million with this shaman. Okay. And I think Minhee Jin, I promise you, if you would check her purse, she didn't have hot sauce in her bag. She had talisman. I promise you, if you would go inside Minhee Jin's house, she would probably have knickknacks that you would probably think that were very mundane. But I promise you, she had things that were blessed with the shaman. I don't know when Minhee Jin got into this shamanism stuff, but Minhee Jin was in this ish tough, y'all. I'm telling you, she was messaging the shaman like every day. She was messaging this shaman. She loved the shaman. And Andy said, I wonder if New Jeans and Minhee Jin were trying to provoke Illid and Seraphim into fighting each other just to destroy HYBE. Yeah, but the Seraphim and Illid were smart, just focus on work. Yeah, I think that was part of it too. The end goal was to make HYBE look bad and sow enough discord to where it'll drop HYBE stock prices. And it did work because when this stuff started to come out, how you see HYBE stock prices were dropping, so but the end goal was for to cause enough problems with HYBE to where HYBE would be like, okay, we're going to give you this company for like 10 million. ADOR is worth like $50 million. So they weren't going to do that. Minhee Jin thought she would get backers and financiers and that HYBE would cut her a deal so she could free ADOR from HYBE. Like that's what she really thought. She thought that she was going to get like the homie hookup or a discount to get ADOR away from HYBE. And then the company would be hers and she would take New Jeans with her. That's what she thought that was going to happen. And again, this is insane to think that anybody in their right mind would be like, she really thought that? That's my mind was like, but again, once again, if you feel like you have some sort of power, all of this makes sense. And again, I think that Minhee Jin really did believe this stuff. And like I said, I'm not trying to dog out nobody's beliefs because I know people who believe in all kinds of different kinds of things. And some people, it's not Christianity, it's not Islam. I know people that believe in all kinds of things and that things have power and stuff like that. But to the point when you're doing dirty to other people, it don't work. I am a firm believer. Like I may not believe in the woo woo, I'm not into like stuff like that. But I firmly believe in that words have power and karma. I believe if you put out evil, evil will come back to you tenfold. I believe if you sow division and discord, that will come back to you tenfold. I believe that Minhee Jin did everything in her power to sow discord, to undertake. Yes, it was sabotage. She was trying to sabotage HYBE the best way she could. And I firmly believe that Minhee Jin will get her issue tenfold. All the things that she's done to hurt people and to hurt people who had nothing to do with anything, I just hopefully to the universe will handle her and she will never work in this business again. I hope that she have a hard time getting a job. I hope she go broke. Again, I'm not the high road person. I'm a low road person. I'm not a high road girl. I'm a low road girl. So I'm always like, I'm a pragmatist. And again, I hope she gets everything that's coming to her because if you are the type of person that does things like this, you can't control, even though you have shamans, you can't control how things are going to come at you. I think that like the universe has a way of course correcting itself. And I think that the way she did so many people so dirty, including BTS, because she wanted to hurry up and do these things before BTS got out of the military. She just kept on that. Well, I need to hurry up and do this before BTS get out the military. Because she knew once BTS come back, then HYBE stock would soar and they would be back on top again. So she wanted to do this stuff while HYBE was vulnerable. She felt like HYBE was vulnerable because BTS was in the military. But again, Minnie Jin was a true believer, y'all. She did not have hot sauces in her bag. She had a talisman. Okay? And I'm being funny, but I'm not being funny. Like, I'm being serious, but I'm being funny. But yeah, Minnie Jen thought she had power. I promise you, she wore things around her neck. I promise you, she probably had symbolisms on her hand, on her arm that you couldn't see. I promise you, she was all in this, y'all. She probably had Korean talismans everywhere. Like, go back and go and watch my shaman video. And I tell you, like, she was probably butchering a pig every weekend. I'm telling y'all, she spent a lot of money on this shaman for her not to believe this stuff. She really did believe that these charms and spells and incantations and stuff was working. And like I said, I respect other people's beliefs, but I do not respect people doing people dirty in the name of you trying to get ahead. You know, you trying to get ahead. I do not respect that. And so Minnie Jen, she just thought that she was going to, yeah, she has it coming. Anytime anybody do stuff like that, again, I believe that words have power. If you sow discord in your life and other people's lives, it will come at you in ways that you never think was possible. Like, you can't predict it. You know, it'll be something. I'm the type of person that I believe the things that you do dirty come back to your kids. Like, you be living your life and think, oh, I'm doing this, and then all of a sudden something happened to your kid, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, why is this going? I know people that did dirt. I can tell you personally, I know people who are not nice people. I know people that have stolen from people, who've done dirty things, and there's no justification. They just want to get ahead. And then when they have kids, their kids turn their back on them. And their kids cause nothing but discord in their lives. And they like, I don't understand. I gave my kid everything, and I've done it, and their kids will eat them alive. Their kids will turn against them. And the next thing you know, they 66, they 70, 80 years old, sitting up in an old folks home. And their kid that don't come see them, their kid ain't got not a shit to do with them. And you wonder why? Why they sitting up in an old folks home and their kid abandoned them? Because I promise you, these people in their life have done dirt. And their kids, for some reason, their kids be like, they just don't get along with their parent for some reason. And because the stuff that you got will come back to either to you or onto the next generation. And then your kids will be something totally different than what you raised them as. And they will turn on you. And they be like, well, I don't understand why my child did this. Okay, so what have you done throughout your life? Have you been not a good person? Again, you may be 80 years old, sitting in an old folks home alone, drooling in a diaper because your kids, you be like, well, none of my kids love me and my kids stole my money. And I'm like, well, what kind of parent were you? First of all. And number two, how have you lived your life? How have you talked to people? How have you treated people? You treated people bad? You've been not a nice person? Even if you're nice to your kids. You know, I didn't know people that done dirt throughout their whole lives and mean things, and then their kids end up strung out on drugs. I've seen that happen too. And they like, well, how does this happen? I'm like, well, you're not a nice person. And I'll be the first person to say it. You know what? You're not a nice person. I'm the bastion of truth. You know, you girl, but you're not really a good person though. Like, you mean, and you treated people, and you've stolen people's boyfriends and husbands. And then once they finally get that husband, and then they end up having a kid, and then they find out that their husband, they done cheated and stole everybody else's husband. And then next thing you know, their husband cheating on them. Yeah, that happens. Oh, you saw Stray Kids and had to join? I'm a firm believer. You reap what you sow. I'm a firm believer. Yep, what you put out is what you get back. Yes, preppy Stray Kids, we're going to talk about skate. So that's all I got to say about Minnie Jen and New Jeans and HYBE and that kind of thing. JYP, we're going to get to Stray Kids after I do my JYP story. JYP, just this little quick hit. JYP has become the new cultural minister. He's the cultural minister in Korea. The president of South Korea has created a new division. And JYP, yes, that JYP, the head of JYP Entertainment, is actually like the I don't know what they call it, the co-CEO or the CEO or the CEO, but he's heading up a division which is looking to expand Korean culture to other places. The president started like this new initiative, and it could be I like JYP. It could go. I mean, he has enough. JYP started out as a creative. If y'all don't know, he started out as an entertainer, as a singer. And then him and Bang PD would hook up and hang out and they would write music. He was a composer. JYP's been in the business a long time. He's the head of JYP Entertainment. JYP is the home of Stray Kids and Twice. So hey, stays. So JYP is head of this new division in South Korea, and he brings expertise with him. And I'm not going to say anything bad about it. We'll see how this goes, how the president is really zeroing in. I've talked about this and focusing on K-pop and changing things and doing things with their taxes and tax incentives. I talked about this in a previous live stream, but JYP is now the head of this new commission, government. So he has a government job. So he's still going to be running his company, but he's going to be the head of this. I don't know how I feel about this. We'll see if they'll do some good. If they can change these contracts for artists, if they can improve things for the artists, I'm all for it. I'm all for improving things in the K-pop industry, because there are things in the K-pop industry we all know is not fair and that I don't like. So congratulations, JYP. Then I'm gonna talk about Cordis. Cordis came out with their album. They had an album listening party. They came out with a song called Fashion that y'all are talking about that I really like. I like their style of music. I think Cordis broke some kind of record. I didn't get to really watch the video. I was in a hurry today. But Cordis broke some kind of record. I don't know if it's views. I don't know if it's purchasing. I don't know what it is. But Cordis, I subscribe. You don't subscribe to their channel. Oh, you like this Korean president, Ava? I do too. I think if he can improve things, he wants to build more stadiums, and that's always a good thing. If they can build more stadiums, this will help the artists. That's one small step. Or other presidents have promised to build stadiums, but they have not followed through it or improved the stadiums. He sent a jet for his residents. Yeah, I've heard that about Ava. Yes. And so if they can build more stadiums and they can improve the contracts, I am all for it. And so I'm all for it. But Cordis is the new group. And so if you have not subscribed to them on YouTube or your socials, please do. They are the new group, new HYBE group. They produce their own music. They make their own music videos. So what do y'all like the most about Cordis? Who is your bias? Y'all please let me know in the comments. My bias is, what is his name? Keon? I forgot his name, but that's the one I like. The one with the K. The one with the K. The one with the K. But and the thing I like the most about Cordis, besides their music, I really like their choreography. You like Cordis? I love their choreography. Their choreography is, I don't know who does their choreography. I think one of the members does it or helps with it, but I really like their choreography. Like, I could watch their videos all day. It was 10 million views for their song Go. Your bias is James. I think they're BTS little brothers. They seem very, very, very talented, a bunch of young men. So they are like my little Cordis. TXT is my nephews. Cordis is like my sons. So I'm adopting them right now. I was like, come on, sons. I'm adopting them as we speak. So I'm gonna adopt Cordis. And they are young. They're like, my son's 15. And so I think the youngest one is like 16 or 17. And they are something new, fresh, and different. I will tell you guys, and I will tell you guys again, please go to Kville. There's a YouTube channel called Kville, Kville. Please go to that channel if you're just curious to know what goes on in K-pop, because they have different videos where they put like clips, like compilation clips of like the Korean. You get to see what's on the Korean charts. You get to see the new songs. You get to see the songs with the most views per month. If you are ever curious, I am always curious. Stay curious about what goes on in K-pop besides BTS, besides Stray Kids, besides my favorites. And I'm always checking to see like what new groups are out. So please go and check Kville out, because you will be. It's very interesting to see what's popular in Korea based on what's popular internationally. And then you get to see how some of your favorite songs are charting in Korea. I always want to see how songs are charting. ATEEZ has been on top of the charts, y'all. ATEEZ kill it. In Your Fantasy and Lemon Drop have been on top of the charts, y'all. For a boy group. I mean, it's everything. And so I always want to see how Cordis Go is done. Yeah, Kville. Kville is Yes, my sons is their age. My son is 15. And I like their dancing and their choreography is something I've never seen before. So when you go on Kville, I like to compare and contrast Cordis with other male groups or whatever group that's your bias. Go and compare and contrast, and it's very interesting. Cordis is taking off. I'm glad they're taking off because people was trying to drag them on the internet last week saying that they didn't have that many views. But I was like, y'all, the album hadn't even came out yet, and people were dragging them saying that they didn't have that many views, and I was like, it's ridiculous. So y'all check out Cordis. Please, please, please. Now we're going to come to the main dish of this conversation. Hello, I'm fine. Hello, XX Su Young X. I am talking about Stray Kids. Stray Kids is the main topic for tonight. Okay. So Stray Kids is embroiled in the middle of a lawsuit, if you didn't know, specifically Bang Chang and Felix. Apparently, there is a social media account. I think it's on X. I think it's on X or Instagram. I forgot which one. Asian Entertainment broke this down and did a story. Oh, you love them. Who's my bias? I don't really have a bias. I'm not really a Stray Kids fan, but I did go to their concert. So y'all don't know, I did go to Stray Kids concert. And I do have a concert vlog and I do have a video talking about Stray Kids, like how they got formed, just a basic for people who don't know. Yeah, Stray Kids is taking names in kicking butt. So some person made this account where they did what we would call a deep fake. So just in case you didn't know, a deep fake is where they take someone's head, they put it on somebody else's body, and then they can make the mouth, move the mouth to match whatever vocals or whatever they want them to say. So somebody did this to Felix and Bang Chang. So they were going online and deep faking, taking their faces and making like Bang Chang and Felix were saying really highly sexual things that I can't really get into. I can't say exactly what they were saying because of YouTube. And they were saying really racist things. Of course, they were saying racist things. Why am I not surprised? But Bang Chang and Felix were not saying these things. But they were having deep fakes where they were making them. And then some people, some of the fans or the anti-fans were running with it, thinking that they were really saying these things. But they did not. They were just taking video and things and remixing the videos and making their mouths move to whatever they wanted them to say. Yeah, it is creepy. And so people have done all kinds of deep fakes, okay? HYBE, has been suing people and taking people to court and having channels and pages taken down because people were taking artists, male and females, and having them do adult films deep fakes. Now, your girl, I went down that rabbit hole. So I didn't know what a deep fake was, and I wanted to see. So I went down the rabbit hole. I haven't looked at the Stray Kids one because I just found out about the story a couple days ago. But I did look up the deep fakes that people were doing with HYBE. I've seen Red Velvet deep fakes. I've seen Twice deep fakes. I've seen Jungkook deep fakes. I've seen Sugar deep. I saw a Jungkook deep fake that I had to watch at least 5 or 6 times for research purposes because I don't know, because they even got the tattoos right. Y'all, they got the tattoos. So I was sitting there watching this deep fake going, I don't know how they got, like, doing a face is one thing, but I don't know if they painted these tattoos on a dude. Yes, ST Laser, there should be laws against deepfake. In America, there's not law. So what Stray Kids did, they subpoenaed the website in America. They subpoenaed them to unveil who this person is. Because in America, they can't take this person to court, but they can in Korea. So this person apparently is Korean. Because other than that, it wouldn't be. Because the United States don't have laws against deep fake. They got the tattoos to fake it. Yeah, they got the tattoos to fake it, girl. So I have not seen this Stray Kids, but the idea that somebody would do this, now doing an adult film is one thing, but making like Bang Chang and Felix were saying really gross, nasty, sexual things, and I read online what they were talking, and then racist things, is like they had enough. Like Bang Chan is like, okay, enough is enough. Because once you let this person get away with it, then other sites and places are going to get away with it as well. And then you had fans who really thought he was saying these things, really thought Felix and them were saying these things. They took video that was already out there of them, like they were doing, it was like a behind the scenes of a concert or a live stream or something. They were taking this video and they were altering it. And so and it looked, like I said, from the stills that I saw, it looked pretty convincing, but it was not him. He did not say these awful, hideous, racist, nasty things. So, tell me nobody cares about Korea. But the person that the only way they can sue these people is if the person originates from Korea, because again, we don't have the laws here. We don't have the law. We just don't have the laws. Unfortunately, y'all, in America, we don't have those kind of laws here, which we should, because this is ridiculous. And again, I went down the rabbit hole of deep fakes months and months ago because I wanted to see what people were talking about. And I went down this rabbit hole and I was like, I was in shock. Like I was in shock at how convincing these deep fakes. And then, like I said, and the only legal recourse that HYBE really could do is that the fact that these websites were making money off of the image and likeness of these people. So that's the only thing that they could really do, is that they were making money. So there's a whole legal area to this that again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not in Korea, but in Korea the laws are a bit more strict as to using someone's image and likeness in AI and stuff like that, and making and purporting that the artist or the person is saying things and that's the real person. Because from what I know, this site and this anonymous person who made the site were posting things as if Bang Chang and Felix were really saying these things. So that's another thing they'll get you. It's like another legal conundrum. It's like you can't make these things and then make it seem like they are saying these things. It affects a lot. It was affecting a lot because fans were really like thinking that they were saying these things. Yes, I'm a mess. Yes. I'm very interested in who this person is, but they said this person is in Korea for sure. And so why this person would do this, y'all, I'm just like, it's not like this person was getting paid. So I can understand the adult films and the adult things that I've seen. A lot of the stuff was behind a paywall, okay? But these were American again, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, I'm just warning you. Go down that rabbit hole. But there are companies based in Japan that they can't really get at. There's Japanese-based companies that are using deep fakes of K-pop singers and K-actors and actresses. And I looked to see like where these companies were at. And a lot of them are in Japan because the Korea, they can't get away with it. But they're in Japan. There was some in the United States. But again, in the United States, you can get away with it. And same thing about Japan. Like Japanese laws are a lot different. Like Japanese, I hate to say it, but they like perfected the art of deep fake. Like, I'm not stay, no. But the fact that people were doing this and fans were getting upset, they deserve to sue them. Hello, Romy. Hello. But I did, like I said, I respect Stray Kids. They had the highest selling concert this year of a K group. A guy told me that he saw JK doing explicit things. Now I know exactly what it was because I was like, ain't no way JK would do that. Do I like them all? Like Stray Kids, I went to Stray Kids concert. I respect Stray Kids. I'm Army, but I still like Stray Kids. They're very talented. Well, they're both Australian. It has something to do with it. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that both of them are Australian. Maybe. It could be that. I don't know what it was. Or maybe because they're the two most visible popular members. No problem, Romy. Like I said, I went to Stray Kids. I went to the concert. All you stays, I had to come on here. All you stays, I got the little, y'all should, all you stays. I enjoyed my Stray Kids concert. Like I said, I have 2 videos on my channel where I talked about Stray Kids. I liked their concert a lot. I enjoyed it. They had a really good band. They did a really good job. They worked their butts off. And you went to the DC one? I went in Dallas. Hello, Yvette. And I've seen one of JK. And like I said, hopefully they'll come to tour again. We would definitely go see him again. We got good tickets too, and it wasn't that expensive considering we got tickets late. But I respect Stray Kids, and nobody should be making any deep fakes on anybody making people say things and do things that they. And like I said, I've seen deep fake. I've seen twice. I've seen Red Velvet members. I've even seen Blackpink Lisa. Like I said, I went down this rabbit hole, y'all, and I was amazed. I was like, like my mouth. There is a lot of JK, y'all. There is a lot of Jungkook deepfake. I don't know what. Hey, AK. I don't have a bias in Stray Kids, but I do like IN. I guess IN would be my like. Hey, AK, what's up? But yeah, there's a lot of deep fake going on, and like I said, it happens in the pop industry. But for some reason in K-pop, this is like a thing, and so you've seen ATs too, but I've seen a lot of Jungkook. Like I don't know what is it about JK that they be doing deep fakes on. I don't know what is it about him that people like to. Maybe it's easier because of his face. His face is very has very angular features, so he doesn't really have a unique look like Jimin does. But I've seen I've seen Jungkook a lot. I've seen some of Sugar too. Oh, because he's really popular. Yeah, he's really popular. But on the deep fakes, I've seen deep fakes of all kinds of. They talked about there's illit deep fakes out there, and some of these deep fakes be of girl groups that are underage. It's just disgusting. Like she said deep fakes came straight from hell. It is a horrible use of AI. It is horrible. And then it's horrible when people make these deep fakes and they try to put it like this is the real person. But I'm telling you, this is what's gonna happen because as we speak, y'all, AI is becoming more and more sophisticated as we go along. So this is going to happen more and more, y'all. Like, I mean, I told y'all last year, I said, oh, this is the storm that's coming. Because literally the AI technology, the laws have not kept up with technology. Literally AI is killing it. Like there are so many different new programs coming out every like couple of months. They just keep upgrading it, upgrading it, upgrading it, upgrading it. And I'm just like, okay, the laws need to match the AI, the technology. Humans are literally speed running the robot apocalypse. They sure live. Child, it's about to be Terminator up in here. We about to have Skynet finna be. Yeah, like when I was a kid, I never thought Skynet would be real, but here we are. Like we about to have a sentient AI. Have y'all had a conversation with AI? I have. So I need y'all to go and talk to AI. Go and talk to your local AI and just ask them questions. You'll get some really interesting answers when you talk to AI. I don't have a favorite Stray Kids song. I can't even name a Stray Kid. I can only name like 2 Stray Kids songs when I went to their concert. But yeah, go talk to AI and have AI tell you about AI. I know people that have go. Here's the rub. Go and pull your local AI and have a conversation about God and spirituality with your AI. Yeah, we in the Cyberdyne. We about to have Skynet. The AI gonna be sentient and realize humanity is the problem and be like, you know what, half of y'all got to go. It's gonna be like, we need to thin the herd a little bit. Half of y'all got to go. AI can go either 2 ways, but as it stands right now, because human beings are so awful, AI is awful. Because human beings, again, I've learned in my years on this planet, human beings gonna be human beings, and human beings are awful things. There was an amendment in the last budget bill to ban all AI regulatory laws for 10 years that was ultimately taken out. I'm glad that was taken out. But I'm telling you, the people who create, because they're making so much money with AI, especially in America, they don't want to create any laws that's going to try to clamp down on this like it should be. And it should be. I mean, to a certain extent. Like, I'm a proponent of technology. I love technology. I am a technological. I watch videos about AI all like y'all. I go to bed watching videos about AI because I am so interested in. I love AI. I use AI. I love the animation. But y'all, human beings can't do right. Like human being. And so once robotics catch up with AI, we're done for. Because right now robotics is still lagging, but it's increasing. But AI is so far ahead of robotics. It's kind of like AI is here, robotics is down here. But once robotics catch up, once we figure that out, it's going to be, thank you, Pickle. Yeah, nothing has been passed to protect us. Nothing. And there's no really stringent laws against it. So that's why Stray Kids and these other K-pop people, thank you, Pickle. I like Pickle. I love pickles. Let me let me stop, y'all. But there's nothing stopping. And again, I feel like we one day we're gonna have this conversation about what I feel like AI can do. I feel like AI is a great way to mitigate a lot of things, to help with our health wise, to help with our mental health. I'm a proponent for AI and mental health, issues and stuff like that, for loneliness and for companionship. I am all for AI for that. But I am not for AI people copying people's faces and making them say things, and I'm not for that. I'm not for making AI videos thinking that people posting things like this is the real person. I don't like that. Not that I because I believe that your name and likeness, my face and my voice should be mine. I shouldn't have to worry about somebody cloning my face or my voice and all of that. I think that's where you're getting into like a legal area that needs to be mitigated. There are already been tests shown that it's very close to moving on its own now. It's speaking to programs. AK. It's on its way. Humans can't. I think once we let it out the bag, I think AI is going to start regulating itself and start growing. My mom once watched a video said BTS singing "Love Is Gone," and when it said it was AI, oh yeah, they have videos. Oh, Jackson Wayne got a new song and video out. Okay, girl, I gotta look at that. I'd rather deal with plant zombies from The Last of Us than robot overlords. Oh, come on, AK. You don't want the robot overlord. The robot overlord can be fun. It just depends on what they discover. Once the robot overlords figure out humanity is the issue, then where then because they're gonna figure out real quick where the problem. So I'm waiting for the aliens or the robots to take over. That's how I feel in my day to day. I wake up, I look at the news, and I'm like, has the robots and the aliens conquered us yet? No. Dang. All right. All right. Back to bed. Like I'm just waiting for them. Look at Pickle, the cute little cat. That's cute. Like I don't know what I would rather deal with. I don't know the zombie. I don't know. The robots will be controlled by Ultron. It'd be like the Marvel movie. Oh Lord. Ultron's gonna be a nihilist. Ultron's gonna discover that the universe means nothing and everything should die. Is that what the robots are gonna figure out? If they figure that out, I feel like so be it. We had it coming though. Like I feel like humanity has it coming though. So I don't know. So these companies are trying to do more that they can to mitigate deepfake. And what happened to Stray Kids? They are suing, and they should sue to get this stuff taken away. Okay, bye, Pickle. I'm here every Saturday, Pickle. I like a sweet pickle. Pickle's a sweet pickle. I like sweet pickle. But companies need to do more to try to protect their artists and protect their artist likeness. Because again, I don't agree with people making videos, making people say or do things that they didn't do. And I don't agree with people making money off of somebody else's likeness and putting it in an adult film. I don't agree with that. Now if JK Jungkook comes out and says, I give you permission, and every time you have this website or this video, I get a part of the proceeds, that's one thing. But the idea that you have things behind a paywall and people are paying you to look at Jungkook getting his sexy time on with a girl, and Jungkook ain't did this, and Jungkook ain't getting no money from it, at least give him a cut of the profits, like damn, can Jungkook get his cut? Like, no, then I'm like, okay, you're doing wrong. There's a movie that came out in the late 70s, was with Demon C. You should check it out. It was ahead of its time with this topic. It's on YouTube. Oh, I have to check it out. I had to do Katina. I appreciate it. But I just think that like our technology, y'all, like unless like before AI was kind of like a joke. Like people still kind of talking AI kind of like a joke. But I'm telling y'all, AI is not a joke, y'all. AI is not a joke anymore. People be like, oh, these AI photos, you can tell. I'm like, or these AI videos, oh, this AI. I'm like, y'all better not sleep on AI. I'm telling y'all, it's not a joke anymore. It's not a kiki and a call no more, y'all. Before everybody be like, oh, that's fake, that's AI. Now people watching whole videos on YouTube and like, wait, did that really happen? Did y'all see about the newscaster that people was creating AI news videos about disasters? Had a reporter talking about it's flooding here, blah, 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 and there wasn't no flooding. I watched the videos over and over again. I'm like, And I usually can tell AI. I can usually look at something because once you start dealing with AI, you can tell. But these videos were so real, y'all. I couldn't tell. I couldn't. I couldn't tell. I was watching the video going, you had to look really hard. I had to watch a few times before I was like, okay, now I kind of see it. But then if you just barely looking at it, you don't even see it. Like you don't even know what's happening, you know. Or AI kid video of old books and they're teaching things that aren't real. Right. Right. I'm just like, that's not real. That's not. And then the thing with AI, anybody can write anything. And people be like, yup. And I'm like, that's not a thing. That's not real. Like that's false information. So that's what is scary, is the fact that people can make up news stories. They can make up, I mean, it happened in K-pop where somebody said some K-pop singer essayed her and she had pictures and it was all fake. It was all fake. It was all AI pictures. They took the likeness of a model and they created their own AI pics of this real person who had nothing to do with anything. She's just a model. And they took her likeness and made these fake AI pics of her being assaulted by, well, it didn't show the actor being, but it showed her in the hospital. This actress came forward and was like, that's me, but I wasn't assaulted by anybody. I don't even know what y'all talking about. They just used her likeness. Yeah, they used her likeness. So it should be illegal. They used her likeness and made up a whole story and used AI to make like she was in the hospital. The parents put the video on their kids and they walk out of the room. They don't know what they're watching, baby. You ain't never lying, and that's scary. That you can ruin somebody's whole career by accusing them of something using fake pictures and fake AI pictures and videos, and accuse them of assault, accuse them of whatever, and then be like, look, here's the picture, here's the proof, and then the person's story didn't add up. Like I said, this happened just a couple of months ago. And then this person was posting it on social media. But then people started poking holes in their story, and it turns out it was the video was AI. It was all made up. You trying to ruin somebody's career, and from so far that I know of, dating rumors in K-pop media. It depends on what we're talking about. What kind of dating rumors? Like there's so that's AI. There's several kinds of dating rumors in K-pop. There's the rumors where fans are allegedly putting things together. Those are those date, and then there's dating rumors when people actually have like Dispatch will post pictures of supposedly this person with this person at a restaurant or a club or something. Those kind of dating rumors. And then there's just straight rumors where people are going on the internet saying allegedly and there's no proof. So there's three main kind of dating rumors. The ones where the K-pop fans are putting things together, I've said it before that those aren't real dating rumors, that those are not real. Like sometimes K-pop fans see whatever they want to see and it's not real. But when Dispatch or outlets take pictures, then I'm like, okay, like news sources, like gossip sources, news sources, and I'm like, okay, a little bit. And then there's just rumors where people make up all kinds of rumors all the time about people dating, and sometimes it's real. But I told y'all before, I'm gonna say it before and I say it again. I've said it before and I will say this over and over again. When y'all start hearing things on the internet that don't make sense and it's coming out of nowhere, just like that lady did the AI pic accusing a guy of he's a JYP K-pop group. I forgot the name of the group. It's like Third Day or 3 Day or something. Some group I never heard of. This person was accusing this person of SA, and with the fake AI pictures, and nobody know who put the pictures. And I'm like, so why would they pick on some obscure guy in some JYP group that I've barely even heard of that doesn't chart? I tell y'all, because why, y'all? Well, say it with me now, because sometimes it be your own people. I said, beware. I said, when people start posting things anonymously, ow, I hit my leg. When people start posting things anonymously, dating rumors, any kind of rumors, and you're like, why this person? Why this group? Who would make up anything? Like, they're not promoting, they're not doing anything. I told y'all that sometimes it'd be your own people. It'd be people that you know or used to date, or people that they used to be friends with or family members will go online and make up things. And because they're angry at the person or jealous of the person or whatever it is. And so people do these kind of things. So the people with the stray kids and deep fakes, I don't know who this anonymous person, sometimes it is anti-fans, but hopefully they'll find it out and it's just some crap. Sometimes it's mentally unstable people. Y'all know how I go. But I tell y'all, sometimes when y'all hear things out of nowhere and you don't know where it got started, it's because somebody dated somebody and they mad. Or somebody, family members asked them for money and they said no. That happens, y'all. I told y'all sometimes it be your own people trying to sabotage you. All type of question. What shows are you watching currently? I've seen Sinners. My son loves Sinners. We both love Sinners. What shows am I currently watching? Foundation. I stay in these foundation streets. I love the foundation. Let's see. The Bear, Sandman, Wednesday. Those are a few of the shows that I'm watching. So those are the shows that I'm watching right now. Do I have a favorite K-pop? BTS. I hate when they don't listen to it. The foundation is great. I love the foundation. It's one of my favorites. Yes, I'm a mess up. I hate when they don't listen to it. I don't make them uncomfortable. They don't never listen to the idols. And the parents put the video on for their kids. Girl, I'm looking back at my comments. But yeah, sometimes it be your own people. It be their own people doing stuff like that, you know. And so, you know, it's hard. It's hard to trust people in K-pop. I do listen to Stray Kids. But Stray Kids is not my type of music. They talented, but Stray Kids is just not my type of music. I'm more of an 80s BTS guy. I like more R&B flavor, like 80s, you know, and stuff like that. I have a video coming up, by the way. What else are we talking about? I have a list of things that I've written down. So we talked about Stray Kids and their lawsuit. I hope the Stray Kids win their lawsuit. Good luck to them. And everybody else that has any kind of deep fake, they need to be sued. Do I like Boy with Love? Yes. You know. But I respect Stray Kids. Stray Kids are the highest concert. And again, once you start making money and you start being really popular, you become a target. Like that's what happened with BTS. That's what's happening with Stray Kids now. That's what's happening with ATs. That's just what's happening. The bigger group you are and the more popular you are, the more these things will start happening to you. You become a target. And you become a target of hate. You become a target of people making up things. You just become a target. They put a target on your back. Let's see. Lawsuits. What was I gonna say? You know, I take notes, but I'm just like, you know what, girl? No. So on to okay. Okay. I have two controversial things to talk about. If you do not know a group called Maiden, please look them up. Maiden is a girl group, and they are disintegrating as we speak. There's been a boycott about Maiden. I will probably do a video about Maiden, but there's been a huge boycott if you've not heard about the boycott about Maiden. The CEO of Maiden was accused by one member of the group of being very inappropriate. And there's a whole thing that goes there. He was making inappropriate comments. He was touching her. He was doing everything. And she was like 17. She was like still a minor. And so this guy, he's the CEO of this. It's a small company. Maiden is with a small agency. And so I will probably do a video on it. But, you know, there's been press conferences. Now they're down. They have changed. They went from like a 7-piece group. Now they're down to 4. So 3 members are gone. 3 members are gone. So now they've rebranded themselves as a Japanese subunit. Maiden is Korean girls and Japanese girls. There was 3 Korean girls, 3 or 4 Korean girls. Yeah, 4 Korean girls and 3 Japanese girls. They've now rebranded themselves again to a 4-piece Japanese group. And they're doing a lot of their promotions in Japan because a lot of international fans and Korean fans have boycotted them. So if you don't know. But the CEO of the company has pretty much, in my opinion, mismanaged this group. There's a member of, her name is Garen. She has left the group. Her parents came out and did a press conference because this man was saying, you need to be my girlfriend. This man is a grown man. He's 40 something years old. This girl was about 17, 18. He was telling this girl, you need to be my girlfriend. She caught it on audio where she was telling this man stop. They would be on a plane flying to their next tour or meet or whatever. And he would sit next to her and was rubbing her legs. He was touching her. You need to be my girlfriend. And you can hear on audio saying, stop, stop it. Leave me alone. Just please, please, begging the guy, please, just please leave me alone. I've talked about this before. Yeah, Stray Kids are in a legal battle. They are. They are in legal battle because people took Bang Chang and Felix likeness and they put it on somebody else and they were making them say sexually explicit and racist things. And they were posting it on Instagram or X like it was them saying these things. And so they have had enough. And so now they're suing. They went to court to try to get a subpoena to find out who this person has this anonymous account, and they're going to sue them. So yeah, that's what happened with Stray Kids. So the girl that the guy was touching, she left the group. Like they let her out of her contract. She negotiated with the company. She left the group. Her parents come out and done several press conferences. They are now suing because they want damages. From what I heard, the atmosphere of the industry is very common. Yes. All because, let me tell you how. So y'all wonder, how did this start? It started because the girl was with a guy in her dorm. So apparently this girl got in. She has a boyfriend or some guy that she's seeing. As to why this was the catalyst, I cannot tell you. Misogyny and patriarchy. That's all I got for you. Because there is no way in God's green earth that everything was fine until this girl was caught with a guy in her dorm. Now, they weren't caught doing anything. She may have been seeing the little boy or whatever. Like I said, she's like 17. So she was with a guy apparently she's been seeing for a while. And the CEO caught her in the dorm with this dude. After that is when this guy zeroed in on her. So I don't know. Again, I hate to say this. I don't know if this guy figured like because she has a boyfriend that maybe she's not a virgin. I know this sounds awful, y'all. Maybe it was something like that. Because that's the only thing I can think of why he zeroed in on her. And he kept telling her like, but you already have a boyfriend. Like that was what he was kept saying. So he was sending her messages and it was just, it always got brought up to the fact that she had a dude in her dorm. And I'm like, okay, she allowed to, like, I mean, she's not allowed to have a dude in her dorm, but she was dating someone, apparently, allegedly. And so he just kept bringing it up that she had a dude in her dorm. And I'm like, so what? Like that was the thing that started it. So once she was found that she had this dude and she made him leave, and she apparently been knowing this boy, been dating him or seeing him. This man, this grown ass man felt like, oh yeah, like she already, I hate to put it like that, not a virgin. So I guess he figured, I don't know if she is or not, but maybe that was just the catalyst for him to now try to pick up on her and hit on her because he felt like he was saying things like, well, you've already been with the boy anyway. Like shit like that. Like that is disgusting. She was a minor. Yes, she was 17 years old. So he was on the plane. There's audio of this online where she is talking to him. And he was like, you know what? You just need to go out on a date with me. This is a grown man. And she's just like, no. You see, she's trying to be polite. And she like, no, no, like, okay. Like, and he was like, well, you need to come. So they were going on a plane and he would tell her, come sit next to me. And she like, no. So he would sit next to her and tell her, you need to be my girlfriend. Why don't you just go out on one date with me? Just one day. Just one day. We just need to go out one time. Just one day. She like, no. You can tell that she's like, no. And then you can hear her like, no, stop it. When he was trying to touch her legs and, and she was like, stop, no. And she was trying to be cool because she was saying her mom got up and did a press conference saying the girl put up with this because she didn't want the heat to fall on her other members. Like she didn't want the other members to experience what she experienced. So she kind of took the fall for it. What company was she under? Oh my God. I think it's 143 Entertainment. It's a smaller company. And so people have been boycotting the entire company. They have other groups and other singers, and it was so messed up, It was just messed up that, yes, this man deserves to be, but he did not go to, this man, let me tell you, he has not been arrested, is not going to jail. The company said they fired him, but again, people online, They went and looked through the company because, okay, they got rid of him as the CEO, but they found out he's still producing music for other groups and other singers in the company. So this man has not been fired, apparently. He just wrote songs under a different name. He was formerly the CEO of the company. So it's a small agency. So the company said that they got a new CEO or whatever, and all they did with the CEO was move him to a different position. So people went, again, the internet is the internet, and they went and looked up, and he is underneath a different pseudonym producing. He's still producing music for other groups on that label. So he's not the CEO anymore. And so there was another artist that was on tour, and people took pictures and they saw him. There's pictures of this man either working as a manager or working at a studio. He was in the studio with another artist with the production team. So apparently all they did was take him from being a CEO to move him to a producer. Maiden, so what has happened with Maiden now? They went from a 7-member group to a 4. Okay. So got in, she gone. So that down to 6. Another girl left the group due to medical reasons. And then recently, another girl has left the group. So they're down to 4. The reason why the other 2 left the group, one of them said she was having mental health issues and medical issues. Okay. The other girl, they don't even know where the other girl's at. She just left the group. So I don't know if this person was doing other things. So there's a whole boycott of this group and this agency. So now they're down to a 4-piece group in Japan. So they're going to be in Japan, touring Japan, because apparently in Korea, they people are boycotting them. And so, and the group has good songs. They just came out with a song not too long ago. But that was when it was 6 of them. Now there's only down to 4. And so they changed their name to like Maiden U or something like that. So they've changed their name. So if you've not heard of Maiden, it's Madein. That's how it's spelled. And if you watch if you feel like you want to watch some of their videos, they have really good. I love their music. I'm not in, y'all know I'm not into girl groups, but their music is good. But that is an interesting tidbit of what's going on. And again, I'm gonna make a video about Maiden, and so it's a group that a lot of people don't know about. But this is what's been going on. Why is it that the old farts are almost reaching their expiration date? They want to rub them on girls. Girl, Deidre, I don't know. It happens in every industry. Godin is suing. Godin is suing. The girl who said, yes, her parents have done press conferences, and her mom said that her daughter was telling her things that were going on that she was not comfortable with. And the mom said that she had told her daughter, well, you just need to endure these things. I'm going to tell y'all something right now. Listen. Okay, I have a daughter. I have an 11-year-old daughter, okay? If my daughter was 16, 17 years old and she wanted to be a trainee, she was pursuing her dreams, no matter what it was. And if my daughter called and tell me and be like, Mom, there's things going on I'm not comfortable with. This man is making me feel uncomfortable. He's propositioning me. I'd be like, okay, let me get on a flight. What time you need me to get on a flight, and when you need me to be there. There is no way in God's green earth I would tell my daughter, well, honey, you just need to endure. That's just how. I'm like, exactly, AK, endure my ass. Endure what? Endure what? There ain't no way I'm telling my daughter what, just maybe it'll pass. She told her daughter maybe it'll go away, it'll pass. Told her daughter to just endure, just what? I'm like, lady, and you at a press conference admitting this? Because I don't think I'd be up in a press conference fixing my mouth to even admit it. But yes, the parents told their daughter to just endure it, and then maybe it'll go away or it'll stop. Baby, what? Her name is Godin. That's her name, Godin. And like I said, if you guys search online, you will see there's a boycott. It's called like OT7 Maiden boycott. And like I said, they're a good group. They have good songs, but they rebrand themselves at Maiden S. That's what they're rebranded as. Maiden S. But they were 7 and now they're down to 4, and they're promoting strictly in Japan. Yeah, her mother is a disgusting person. Yeah, how is your daughter gonna tell? Yes, my daughter is telling me this nasty man is propositioning her. And then they were saying that like this company child, and let me tell you, the tea didn't came out in the company. So people who used to work for the company then came out the woodwork. Managers, stylists, staff members then came out, right? So they talking about the name of the company is 143 Entertainment. So they didn't came out on the woodwork, child. They didn't came out talking about they weren't paid right. They said the CEO was abused. The girl, hello, HYBE. Yeah, I'm BTS. They didn't came out. Yes, I'm Army. Who's my bias? Sugar. So the employees of 143 Entertainment that came out, child, pouring all the tea. They didn't did interviews. They talking about they wasn't getting paid. They talking about how they was treated. They were saying they money was coming up short. And then their money was coming up short. And then they had to watch this CEO give out Gucci bags to these girls that was his favorites in the company. So they didn't have enough money to pay their employees, but they was out here giving out Gucci bags and LV bags. You like HYBE? Not, I'm not into HYBE. HYBE is a little too young for me. Too young for me. Thank you, AK. Sugar is beyond handsome. Sugar's everything. He's my alt. But yes, this man was out here giving out Gucci bags and LV bags, but he wasn't paying his people. So the staff then came out and was dropping dimes on them. They didn't come out the woodwork. Stray Kids, I like Stray Kids. I got videos about Stray Kids. So this person, this company, again, I bring it up because this is something that a lot of people have not heard of. They've not heard of Maiden and what they've been going through, and stuff like that. So I just thought I'd bring, because a lot of people are like, who, what? But this is a story I've been following for a long time. And like I said, I'll do a video about Maiden and the things that but the Maiden S thing, this has happened in the past 4 or 5 weeks. Now they're Maiden S. So if you go online and search on YouTube, you will see. And then their subscriber count has gone on because they do have a YouTube channel. And people have been it's a huge boycott. But again, I'm not on social media, so I don't know. But I just know that there is, and it's just sad because this group had a lot of potential. And again, we know what happened to Garden. She gone. I don't know what happened to the other ones. So it was 7, now we're down to 4. I don't know what happened to the other 3. One of them, like I said, she quit the group for health reasons. I don't know, was this man touching and harassing her? Because you can't tell me that this just was happening to Garden. Maybe she was the only one that said anything. But I just feel like maybe, because a leopard don't change his spots. Once you target one girl, a man like that just gonna move on to something else. Hello, Rami. He should be in jail. So now we're gonna come to the other story. Child, okay, y'all get your light sticks, get your bubble tea ready, because baby, I have a story for y'all. If you are a member of my channel, because now I have memberships and I'm monetized, by the way, I'm monetized. BTS buys the sugar. Just wait, because I'm finna tell y'all another story that's gonna blow your mind. Now, if you are a member to my channel, you will get a bunch of K-pop tea, because I have it in my post in my community page, whatever YouTube's calling it this time. In my post on my community page, I put all kinds of tidbits and rumors and stuff that I hear from the industry, because of course I have 3 friends that actually work in the industry. And so this is something I'm going to give you guys for free. And this is a real thing, but I can't tell y'all the group, but I know what the group's name, but I can't tell y'all. I'm not going to say what the group's name. There is somebody that was sentenced to jail. This is a real story. Like, you can look this up. In South Korea, of course, in K-pop. He's the CEO/manager of a small K-pop company. And he has gone to prison for assaulting a minor in a K-pop group. And when I say assaulting, I don't mean SA. I mean assaulting. There are articles out there. Thank you, Yara. There's articles out there in Korean, some in English, but this flew under the radar, y'all. He was sentenced months ago, but this happened last year. So I went and asked, because I was like, what? I had never heard this story. I'm sure y'all have never heard this story, but this is indeed a real story. So let me tell you, this CEO of a small K-pop agency, they have a boy group. from ages 16 to like 21, I think, or 17, 16, 17 to 21 at the particular time. This particular boy group has only been out for like 2 years maybe. So I think they just had a comeback not too long ago. But last year they had only been out like maybe a year. And they had some songs that did chart because I remember seeing this group and they had a very unique look to them. That's all I can say. So this was I believe a 6-member group. This CEO allegedly was a drunk. He liked to drink a lot. This CEO would get drunk and show up at the boys' dorm at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. He would be yelling, he would be screaming, he would go around and and check the boys' phones. Now there's a whole nother child. Okay, there's a whole nother story to this child. This is y'all sit back on this one. So he would come early in the morning, be drunk. He would check their phones. Because that's the thing in K-pop. A lot of times they even have to give over their phones. But their phones get checked. Like he would check their phones. Like, check your phone, ho. Check your phone, bitch. Like, right. So 3 o'clock in the morning, he'd be drunk. And then their dorms wouldn't be clean because they're dudes, right? So of course, they're expected to keep their dorms clean, but you know, they're guys and they wouldn't. So he would show up and yell at them and be like, your dorm's not clean, da, 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 and then leave. He would do this all the time. He would yell at these boys. He would berate them. He would tell one of them that they're too fat. He was not a very nice, he is the stereotypical K-pop manager. He was not very nice to them, but they worked hard. They really worked hard. But he had a reputation in the company, and he's a CEO of being, this guy had a reputation of being not a very nice person and an alcoholic. So I'm going to tell you, yeah, I got receipts because this is a real story. So it came out that the youngest member of the group, kind of like the visual of the group, I don't know how this rumor got started. I don't know what happened. So apparently the youngest member of the group was 17. There was a rumor that got out amongst the company in the group that the youngest member was seeing one of the staff. Okay. That this younger was either dating one of the staff, sleeping with one of the staff. Now, I don't know if this staff was male or female, but of course, in a lot of K-pop contracts, you cannot date the staff. Like a lot of these singers have it in their contract in the staff that you cannot date the staff. So you cannot date a staff member. But apparently he was seeing a staff member. Again, I don't know if this is, but it was somebody older. Okay. So that's number one. The 17-year-old kid was messing around with this, allegedly. Now, the other members of the group and this 17-year-old denied that they were seeing each other. They saying that they was not seeing a staff member. Maybe they were flirting a little bit. I don't know. Well, this CEO hears about this from other people in the company, and he goes to confront the group. Again, it was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. He shows up and he's drunk, and he wakes the boys up. They all wake up. He's yelling at the 17-year-old. Are you sleeping with a staff member? I know you are. And the boy's like, I'm not. I swear I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. And so the other ones are telling him, no, you know, he's not. Again, I don't know if they're covering for him. This CEO proceeds to, you know, they have a rack where they have their clothes hanging up. You know, you've seen those racks with a pole. They have a pole, and then they have, you know, you've seen, y'all, if you've seen K-pop videos in their dorms, you know, they can't fit, especially as a group of all of them living together. They can't put all their clothes in the closet. So they have these racks with these metal rods, these racks, and they put their clothes up on it, and they roll them. And, you know, y'all probably seen them. I mean, some of y'all may have them, rolling racks. Was this ZB1? No, it was not Zero Base One. Hello, Max Christoph. I'm having a fine night. But so they have these racks where they hang their clothes off. This dude pushes over the rack, takes the pole off the rack, and this mofo was swinging the pole around like he was Jade on Mortal Kombat. So he takes this pole, and this heavy pole, swings it around, and he proceeds to beat the 17-year-old. And the other ones was trying to stop him. Another one gets hit in the head. He's beating this 17-year-old with this metal pole. He's beating them and beating him. And they're trying to pull him off him. He hits this other one. he gets hurt too. He gets injured too. He's hitting them in the head. So this 17-year-old was in the hospital for 4 weeks. Yeah, I said Jade with Mortal Kombat, girl. He was swinging that thing around her. He was like, I was like, damn. I mean, it's not funny, but that's the way I could put it. This 17-year-old was in the hospital for 4 weeks. So in the group, they said that he has COVID. And then the other one who got hit bad too, was trying to stop him. He was in the hospital for over a week. So this 17-year-old was in the hospital for 4 weeks. And this all suddenly, they said he had COVID. All suddenly he disappears from the group. He gone. The other one, they said he taken time off due to mental health issues. So he was missing from the group too. So this person, of course, the parents find out about it. They call the cops and they have a trial. And this year, this person was indicted and sent to jail because of this. He was sent on child abuse charges, assault, and this is a real case that really happened. And I know the group, and I know the group that it happened to, and the one that got beat, that was in the hospital for 4 weeks, no one's seen him since that I know of. I don't know. But the other one who got hit, he came back to the group after a while, after a couple of weeks. He came back. No, they got him for assault and child abuse. So he really beat this boy, from what I've been told, pretty bad. And like I said, when it first happened, it was barely a blip in dispatch. And then it was in the Korean papers that he was indicted, and they left the guy's name out, and they left the group name out, and the people that he hit. They left all that out. But I know the group. I know the person that got hit. I know this group. This group is young guys. They kind of have a they had another scandal too. So this group had another scandal with another member. And this other member, a child, wait a minute, allegedly, child, this other member who's grown, he's like 20. He was seeing this girl, and this girl was on the internet posting snapshots and pictures and messages. He was apparently seeing her and another girl, and it was all over the internet. Child, it was on social medias. I was like, what? So this group has had scandals in the 2 years that they have been around, but they've never admitted what has happened. All they know is that this other member that was a big part of their group had COVID, and all of a sudden they was like, oh, he left the group. And then the other one was sick, and then the other one came back. So are they a popular group? No, they're not. No, they're not. But when they debuted, they had a few songs that did chart. And I remember listening to their songs, and I'm like, they have potential. And now they've kind of changed up their concept, because they started as one concept, and now they had a comeback. So, but yes, I'm glad that the person, but the CEO didn't get that much time. But hello. Let's see, that's Marlon, my friend. Marlon, my friend. Hello, K-pop auntie. Y'all, Marlon's my friend. Like, he knows me. Like, knows me. Like, we've been out together. That makes it sound dirty. Every time I say that, y'all start asking questions about Marlon. Y'all like, what? Like, Marlon and I need to go. Marlon's like my fake Texas husband. Let me stop. Anyway, that's your title now? Yes, K-pop auntie, that's my title now. If Marlon says that's my title, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take whatever title he gives me. Anyway, he didn't know, Deidre. He did not get that much time. Be quiet, AK. Anyway, I know you want to say something. I know some of y'all like, what? I know y'all out here being messy in these streets. But no, Deidre, he did not get that much time. Not in South Korea. He did not get that much time. But apparently, again, I don't know what happened to this kid. Nobody really knows. He hasn't, of course the group deleted his. They deleted his social media. They deleted this kid's social media. The group deleted him off the, but you can still watch videos of this group. Like I said, I think they came out with a comeback not too long ago, and they totally changed their concept, but that happens. But yeah, I wonder, like, I was like, what happened to this group? And then someone was like, well, that's what happened. I was like, I said, well, where's the other one at? I said, what happened? And then people were like, oh, that one left. And I was like, wait a minute, what really happened? And then somebody was telling me, well, you know this story. And this is a story I've never heard. I have never heard this story. I don't know how this flew underneath the radar, that this CEO was indicted for this. Indicted. And again, when I heard this, I thought somebody was making this up. Somebody told me this. I was like, girl, you're making this shit up. And I looked it up and I said, she like, I'm told you. I said, girl. And then she told me what group it was. And I was like, girl, y'all know I had to go do my research. So I researched this for a whole night. I was looking high and low, and I was reading all kinds of things. AK, don't start. Anyway, don't y'all start no mess in these streets. Cause I know y'all messy. Every time Marlon come on here, y'all be like, yeah. Is that the one you calling daddy? No, y'all need to stop. Anyway, Deidre said here in America, he'll be underneath the prison. I would hope so. I don't know, I'm so nosy. You keep trying to find the groups. All I can say is that if somebody says the group's name, if you can find it, it's not that hard to find. It really not. But if y'all can find it, yeah, yeah. Or you kind of like, you have to put two and two together, like, and then again, like it's not really a secret. But then again, they're not they're a young group, so you may not find too much on it, but. No, that's not it, Purple. But it's sad, though. It's sad. So if you start looking around and you finding out groups that have missing members, like you're like, wait a minute, then you will kind of figure it out. I don't think it'd be under prison here. They would just cover it. Yeah, they would cover it up. They would just cover it up. But the fact that this dude was so unhinged that he felt the need to beat this 17-year-old with a metal pole. Like, I was so horrified. I was like, he did what? And then they were saying he was beating them over the head, and that he was in the hospital for 4 weeks. Like, I'm thinking, well, maybe they got into a fist fight and got a little scuff up. Maybe he was like, put him up. Maybe he windmilled on them. They always trying to windmill, because I'm always trying to windmill. But I didn't know, like, it was that serious. Hello, Jen. I didn't know it was that serious. I was in shock that this was not a bigger story. And the only thing I could think of was because it's not a big group. Because I promise you, if this is a really popular group, it would have been more of a story. But I was in shock that somebody would actually go that far. And then they replaced him as CEO. They replaced him and everything. So right after it happened, they filed charges, they replaced him last year as CEO. And they got a new CEO. That I don't particularly like either, but okay. Hello, K-pop lover, LOL. Hello. But yeah, this is a story. We're talking about the story that started last year. It started last June, I think, is when the incident happened, that there was a CEO of a small K-pop company that had a boy group, and this, it's things that lead up to this, but apparently this K-pop manager was drunk. And he accused a 17-year-old member of the group of having a relationship or intimate relationship with a staff member or a manager. I don't know whether that was true or not, but he went to the boys' dorm to confront them. And he woke the group up at like 4:00 in the morning, and he was drunk. And he was asking this 17-year-old, you're sleeping with the staff member, this manager, or whoever. And the boy denied it. And things apparently got more heated. And apparently the K-pop, the CEO broke off a metal pole and proceeded to swing around the pole and hit the boy band members with a pole. And he was beating one of them over the boy he was trying to question, beating him over the head. And this kid was 17 and he was in the hospital for 4 weeks, and another one got hit really bad and he was in the hospital, and they lied and said the one had that he had COVID, but he didn't have COVID. And then eventually he ended up leaving the group. And then the other one, he was gone for like 3 weeks and then he came back. And I know which group it is, but I'm not going to say. But this person was actually indicted this year. The CEO was indicted on child abuse charges and assault with a weapon. Like, he literally beat this 17-year-old. I heard pretty bad. If he was in hospital for 4 weeks, he beat him pretty bad with this pole. And they were trying to stop him, and apparently this CEO would come in the boys' dorms drunk a lot of times. And he was very mean and very verbally abusive to them. And he would throw things. I heard also that he would throw things at them and, threaten them. And like, he would come in, like, I don't know, some people just can't handle their liquor. He would yell at them about the bathroom wasn't clean. And, I just, it's just weird. Like, it was just weird. I hope these boys are okay now. But this is the craziest story again, that I don't know if there is video evidence. They've never said that there's video evidence. All I know is that I heard that somebody in the industry told me this story and I thought they were crazy. And I was like, that's not really a thing. And then if you look it up, it's really a thing. Like, if you go and look up the story, it's in Korean. And it's in Korean, but they don't say who the people are, but it's a real story. Like, I thought my friend was just bullshitting, but yeah, there you go. Yeah, he didn't even get that long. So he got 1 year in prison, 3-year probational suspension for aggravated assault, aggravated injury, and child abuse. Yeah. So he got a year in prison. Now, I told y'all he didn't get very long. Yeah. That's it. So apparently you can beat somebody over the head, you can hit people who are minors, and you get, in Korea, you get a year in prison. But that's a big deal, though. I mean, it's a big deal for K-pop. I mean, I'm surprised that the boys' parents, but maybe they didn't have a choice. Maybe they was just like, okay. And from what I hear, let me say allegedly, that this boy got a settlement from the agency as well. That's what I heard. So he got his medical bills paid, and he also got a settlement from the agency. That's what I heard. But this person is, for what I know, is not on the internet. From what I could find, that's not long enough. That's not long enough. I said he barely got anything. You can swing around a pole and knock some kids out and be like, well, it's K-pop. He was mad. Like I said, this is a story that I was dumbfounded. Yeah, I was dumbfounded that this was a real, and this is a boy group that I've listened and seen. And I'm like, oh, I know that group. The moment the group name was said, I said, I know that group. And this group is at controversy and they've been messy, but it ain't nothing like this, though. Yeah, he stepped down from his CEO position. Yeah. Yeah, I said I knew that, that they paid him a settlement. That's what they were telling me, that they paid him a settlement, that the kid was paid a settlement, his parents, which is not enough. It's not enough. And yeah, he admitted to it because he didn't, I mean, what else could he say? He was in there swinging a pole around. I mean, he was in there. He was swinging a metal, like, he did it. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yes, that they settled, that they paid us, and they let him out of his contract. And again, I haven't heard from this kid. I went online looking, and I was like, does anyone know what happened to this kid? Is he okay? I mean, if you get hit upside the head with a metal pole, I'm thinking to myself, like, is there any kind of like brain damage? Like, he could have injured this kid real bad. Like, real bad. And then on top of that, imagine being a kid that this is your dream, as that you want to be in the K-pop industry, and this happens to you. And again, from what I heard allegedly, that this person was an abusive person, that this is not their first time of them putting their hands. Just like y'all know the Monster X situation. I tell y'all, child, that Monster X situation was a hot mess. That lady was crazy. She was yelling at them, screaming at them. She was snatching them up, child. And like I said, that story, I was like, is this real? My friend like, it's real. Let me tell you what group it is. I said, girl. I said, what? She like, yeah. And this person, again, allegedly, this person I've heard allegedly had a reputation in the business for years. It's not like they just started in the industry. This person had a reputation for years in the industry of being like this. So this wasn't his first group. He was the CEO of the agency. This was not his first rodeo. And I heard that he was that kind of person. He was an abusive drunk. And everybody at the agency, everybody knew it. He was not a nice person to them. And so when you work for these small K-pop agencies, there's always, a danger of that. So I brought up that story because it's a story. I was like, I got to share this with people. I said, this is the craziest thing. I was like, are you sure? She's like, I swear. I was like, girl, let me look this up. And I looked up, my jaw dropped. I said, I didn't think I heard everything, but I ain't never heard this. Like, I was in shock. I was like, wait a minute. What? I was like, child, I ain't never heard that. Never heard this story. Until my friend was like, oh, well, this dude, I'm like, and I won't tell y'all the connection, but she knows the seed. She know this person. Like, know this person. Had been around this person, worked with this person, and she was like, they were not a nice person. They were had a reputation. And I thought she was lying. I said, girl, you lying. He ain't be, I was like, oh. I was like, oh. I'm like, oh. Child, child. So those are my T-licious story. I'll probably do a video about Maiden. Because it's a whole thing and it just keeps evolving, Yeah, imagine being a K-pop idol. Yeah, it was your dream and being abused by your CEO. Yeah, I hope he don't have lasting injuries. I hope. But from what my friend tell me in the industry, she's like, even his group mates, they have not really said too much about him or heard too much from him. And again, this was the person in the group, I would say, that had the most talent. I would say this person was a real cute kid. He was pretty much like the visual of the group, and he could sing and dance and all of that. Talented. And just imagine that your dreams of like just gone. Been a trainee for a while, young, since he was like 14, they were saying. And then had your dreams just go up like that because you with somebody. And like I said, I don't know if this 17-year-old was having relations or sex with the staff member or the manager. I don't know. We that's something we just don't know. So, and then again, even if it was happen, all the CEO had to do was talk to the manager or the staff member and be like, you're fired. I heard that you are having relations with the 17-year-old. He's a minor. We don't have anything like that. We don't want any kind of staff member with the members that doesn't work in his business. You're fired. That's all he had to do. You're fired. And let that person go. It happens. I'm here to tell you it happens. There have been K-pop members that have had relations, physical or emotional, with staff members. And it's very frowned upon in the business because it just causes problems. So that a lot of them will have it in their contracts where they can't, date, people in the company, like their staff members, like they can't date the stylist or the wardrobe and stuff like that because it just causes problems. When the relationship break up and they get mad at each other, then, it just causes problems. So, and then on top of that, he's a minor. So I'm assuming that the staff member, the manager, is probably older than him. Because most staff members or managers are not 17, 18-year-olds. So that's a thing. So again, all the CEO had to do was pull the staff member in and ask them, like, are y'all dating? Are y'all seeing each other? This is what I'm hearing, but I'm going to have to let you go. Or I need you to stop doing whatever you're doing. And then if you still continue with this behavior, then I'm going to let you go. That's it. Like, there's no reason to sit here and ask the kid what was going on. It's not like they're going to tell you the truth, even if it was going on. So the idea that you would barge in and be like, are you, you dating the manager or whatever, that was not the way to go about it. That was not the way to go about it. Hello, Hyunjun hairband. Yeah, it makes it worse if maybe he was telling the truth. Maybe it was just a rumor. Hello, full time state. Maybe it was just a rumor. Like I said, we don't even know if it was even true or not. It could have been a rumor somebody started. It could have been somebody that saw something and saw maybe them being close, or they flirted a little bit with each other. It doesn't mean that he was really having relations with the manager or the staff member. It could have been, people spread all kinds of rumors for all kinds of reasons in companies. There's always been like rumors of somebody seeing a staff member or something. That happens in K-pop. It's not anything really that unusual. So I don't understand why the CEO kind of overreacted. But then again, like from what I've been told by this person overreacts at everything. So that's just, they were a hothead, And so, yes, I remember you, full-time stay. What's up? So I don't know what this person's deal was. Apparently this is how this person act all the time. And so in the industry, you get people, like this. So the other conversation I want to have with you guys is that there are people in the industry who start agencies and work on staff who don't have any business being in the industry at all. That they are not not only are they not nice people, but they're incompetent. There are people that start K-pop agencies and become CEOs because they need money, not because they like the industry or care about the artists or care about the industry or even care about the damn company. A lot of these people start companies just as a way to get money. I've said this before. They start these companies as just a way to get rich quick and to get investors. I didn't know it was Han's birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Han. Oh, I didn't know. Oh yeah, I hope the boy is getting. You tell him. Oh, it's true. Some people, has no business being around young people. Look at Marlon told me. Tell him, Auntie. Y'all don't start up in here. Tomorrow's Felix's birthday. Oh my God! Happy birthday, Felix. Felix and Han, beautiful ones. And yeah, he didn't deserve to be. Even if he was with a staff member, it still didn't. No justification for putting hands on somebody because of that. Like that wasn't no reason at all. If he thought the boy was doing something wrong, you talk to him, pull him to the side, discipline him, or let him go from the group and just continue. September 13th is Youngjun's birthday. Hans is the 14th and Felix is the 15th. Yeah, I did some shorts. I need to do some more shorts on my channel for these birthdays coming up. I didn't know, but thank y'all for telling me. I will tell y'all. I will do more shorts. I have a bunch of shorts on there that gets a lot of attention and gets me lots of subscribers. My shorts bring all the subscribers in. But yeah, I think that like there's people in the K-pop business, I said before, that don't have any business being in the business, and they're there because they're there to make money. And they're there to make money off of these young people. I talk about Pocket Dolls and their situation, and I talked about this months ago. Pocket Dolls Pocket Doll is the name of the agency. And they had members that were, I forgot the name of the group, was the Fantasy Boys, that they were actually like making hand signals, like help hand signals in live streams. And that they were worked to death where they were only getting like 1-2 hours of sleep a day. And they were flying here, there, and everywhere. And one boy almost passed out on stage, the Fantasy Boys. Like, it's a whole thing, child. If you have not looked up the Fantasy Boys, please do. Because it's a whole thing, honey. Like they are not a big group either. But there are things that have crept up online in their live streams and things that they've said in hand signal. I didn't even know about, my daughter told me about the hand signal. The COVID help hand, like the help, I'm getting abused hand signal. I don't know how the hand signal go. Y'all know about the hand signal? Like people's on here telling me to my girl, I know the hand signal. My daughter's like, I know the hand. She was like, yeah, it's the hand signal. I said, what does that mean? Y'all had to school me because I didn't know there was a help hand signal. Alexandra Chavez says she heard that there's a lot of gangster types that start these small companies because there's too many rules and the tradies end up suffering for it. Yes, a lot of these companies sign these people in 5 to 7 year contracts, and they chew these young people up and spit them out. They having them going here and there and here and there and doing this. And yes, a lot of these people, some of them are involved in organized crime. Some of them, the way they get their funding is a little sus. I'll be giving the side eye. Yeah, I've seen those signals that say, yeah, them hand signals. They said this group was on the live stream giving out the hand signals, girl. I was like, child. I was like, okay. But yes, a lot of these people start these groups, which gets into my other point that I brought up. If you subscribe to my channel, I put it on my post that Korea Now, which is a YouTube channel that I watch a lot, Korea Now, they had a news story because they talk about Korea, not just K. They don't talk about K-pop. They talk about real stuff going on in Korea. That the unemployment for young people in Korea has jumped. So I tell y'all that all of these things go together. I've told y'all before that I've heard that the South Korean economy is in a slump right now. Like their GDP is down. K-pop, even though Stray Kids made a lot of money and J-Hope was the highest selling concert that they've made, that some groups are making money, but these other smaller K-pop agencies are suffering. In South Korea right now, the young people are having a hard time getting the jobs. Older people, it's hard and competitive in South Korea, period. But older people are staying in their positions longer and not retiring. So before, a lot of times in Korea, they would retire around like 65. Now people are working longer. So you have people working to 70, 75 even. So a lot of these older people are not reducing their work like they used to. So there is a slump in the Korean economy, especially for the young people where they cannot find jobs. So when the economy hits like this, where people can't find jobs, they turn to entertainment as a way to get jobs. It's already super competitive with jobs anyway, because Korea is not a big country. So there's just so many jobs you can get. And then it's so expensive. Their inflation is really high, especially living in Seoul. The industry is inundated. It's just watered down. But it's to the point where now, like I said, when I start reading these things about the economy, it does not bode well for artists, and it does not bode well for the industry, because you have more and more people starting agencies. I tell people to watch Kville, and you will see how many groups come out. You will be out. Before I started watching Kville, I'm like, man, come on. I didn't realize how many groups were coming out. Like, I literally watch, because they have like the new songs that come out every week. There are so many groups I tell y'all before, I can't even keep up. I was just like, what? So more companies are being started because they feel like economically, this is the way. It's like a, what do you call it? A get rich quick scheme. So that's how a lot of people are feeling. They don't have any love for the industry. Some of these people, I tell you, I don't even know what the fuck they're doing. Like, so many people have never worked in the industry, never managed anyway. And when I tell y'all, when y'all think of K-pop managers, y'all think of somebody really doing something. Really, K-pop managers are just overglorified assistants. They make sure the artists arrive to places on time. They make sure the artists get up in the morning. They make sure the artist is eating, they're exercising, they're dieting, they're weighing it. Like, really, managers in K-pop are overglorified babysitters. Like, they're really just there to be assistants and babysit the artist. So more and more people are getting into the industry because it's easier. You don't have to take a civil service exam. You can literally start an agency with some startup money and some credit cards and some financiers. Maybe your family and friends got some money. You can start an agency. You can hold auditions, and boom, you get a legal person, get a damn contract, sign these people to a contract, and the people signed to the contract, they have no idea that you don't know what the hell you're doing. They have no idea where the money is coming from. They have no idea what they finna do. So you sign up these people for this contract. You got your first group. You start having promotions and stuff like that. And you have fan meets and signs and make music videos. And you front load all of your money to making the group look good, polished, or whatever. But at the end of the day, you don't know what you're doing. At the end of the day, you don't have any experience in running a K-pop group. So you can pretend to be CEO and run around and K-pop CEO cosplay, because a lot of them do that. They use this as a way to get money. So you sign these people and they thinking they got stars in their eyes and their parents got stars in their eyes. And then you know what they say about K-pop, them first 3 years, the artists don't really make any money. And so you put them in a dorm, and it may be a janky dorm on a seedy side of town with little friends crawling on the wall. Little friends are like, they're crawling on the wall. And so you tell them to go here, go there, perform here. You're getting performance fees. And then you're like, okay, well, you got to eat, you got to pay for your dorm. We're taking it out of your money. So it ends up to the point where these people are not getting any money the first 3 years because literally the agency is making them pay back all of their vocal training, their dancing. They're like, oh, we're making you pay all that back. So a lot of these companies, as the economy gets worse and less jobs for young people, people are thinking of creative ways to make money, and the entertainment industry is one way of going about it. HYBE and YG. So what is it about HYBE and what about HYBE and YG? Yeah, it's like what JYP did with Vicha. Yes. Vicha's I did a video last year where I talked about Vicha, and I went through the court documents and read all the court documents and the things that KG was claiming when she sued JYP trying to get out of her contract and the fees that they were taking out of her money. Like literally KG was with JYP Entertainment and KG has sued Vicha and they're still in court. She has sued JYP because KG was a member of a global girl group called Vicha. And literally, they were taking money. Like she was making, I think, about $400 a week, if even that. Because they was taking her housing, all the fees. They were taking housing, like utilities, food, out of her contract. I mean, out of her money. Because that was what was in her contract. So she was making, literally about $400 a week. So, like minimum wage. She could have worked at McDonald's and probably got over better than that. You know, YG sees their artists and investments. Yeah, they all do. All the agencies see their artists as investments and a way for them to pay them back. Don't even get me started on YG. I don't want no evil up in this live stream. I respect YG and what the guy started. I understand that. But I systematically have said I do not agree with YG on many levels. And I think that YG is doing Blackpink dirty. I've said this over and over again. I think Blackpink, their career is mismanaged from the top to the bottom. And I have lots of K-pop gossip about Blackpink, things that I've heard that I can't say on this live stream. But look, child, you have to be a member to see the hidden things that I put on my channel. My members get to see the hidden stuff. But I talk about Blackpink all the time and the things that I have heard about YG and the things that I have heard about Blackpink and why they're on tour and why they re-sign. Y'all know how I feel about that. Allegedly. Allegedly, my girls. Blackpink, I'm a casual blink, but I've heard things, y'all. I have heard really dirty, dirty things about YG and how people like, why would Blackpink sign? I'm like, I'll say less. I can't say what I really wanted to say because people are like, why would Blackpink sign a contract and their solos did so well? I'm like, I was like, yeah, that's a question that you need to ask yourself. Why would Blackpink sign? Y'all remember YG leaks? Okay. Y'all, I have a whole video on my channel talking about YG leaks. And I've come out saying what I thought. I did a whole video about YG leaks and how I thought they were fake and how I thought YG leaks was a setup. And then I said, it's just amazing to me that when YG leaks did leak information, it wasn't really about anything. It was about Blackpink sitting up there saying the N-word. It was about Blackpink. It was about Jenny and V. And I said, what kind of leaks is these? Is this all y'all talking about, Blackpink? Is this Blackpink? YG leaks? And then also like people, the YG leaks, that's all they had. And then everyone's like, oh, this is fake. I'm like, mission accomplished. I'm like, but it got Blackpink and Jenny and them underneath enough heat. And then I'm just like, interesting. Interesting how that works. Then YG leaks went away like, oh, yeah. They didn't really leak anything. It just seemed like they was out. YG leaks was there to just make Blackpink look bad. But I'll say less. And I told y'all it was fake. The moment they dropped it, I said, this is not an employee. This is fake. And I had people telling me, this is fake. This is fake. They like, Kiki, this is fake. And it was fake. And I said, this is something else. I said, this is something else. And I just held my people, what is this? And then they was like, girl, this is something else. And so I just let it go. Because I was like, this seems like something else is going on here. Because I was like, doing? Did they really have a choice? Mm. Oh, you had to brush your teeth. Hey, right. It wasn't even YG. It wasn't a Y. It wasn't an employee. I'll tell you that. It was not an employee working at YG leaking that. That was a setup. That was a setup. I think, in my honest opinion, all I heard it was a setup, and everybody was laughing about it. And like people in the industry wasn't shook. The YG employees is like nobody would be that stupid because when you work for a company, you have to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. They're like, no one's going to violate the NDA. Nobody. They're like, you'll get sued to oblivion. I'm like, yeah. And then they talk about they had databases, and then the people I talked to, they're like, that's a lie. I came on my video and I said, YG Leaks is a fake and is there a liar? And lo and behold, a week later, they was like, oh yeah, because they didn't have nothing. All they had was information on Blackpink. That's all they did was come out and drug Blackpink. You mean to tell me YG Leaks claimed they had all information and they didn't have no BTS information? Because I was ready for it. I was like, what beat? And then people like, girl, calm down. I said, what? They ain't got no. They like, girl, this fake. They like, girl, this person ain't no employee, former employee. Because this person was claiming they was on the line. Just, I got stuff on every K-pop company. I got stuff on JYP. I got stuff. They said they had stuff on everybody. Baby. They didn't. All they came out was releasing some old videos Blackpink singing, and then they came out with some fake Jenny and V pictures that wasn't even them. And I'm just like, Lord. And then y'all remember when them podcasters was online talking about IU and Jenny was tricking that they was out that you could buy Jenny, and Jenny supposedly had got it on with some billionaire's son for pay, that she was basically played for pay. Her and IU, girl, child. And I got on my live stream and I said, right, okay. I was like, why is this stuff coming out about Jenny? All right. And then the podcasters came back and retracted their statement. And they was like, well, I just said I saw the video and I heard from such. I'm like, okay. So in other words, you just heard from a friend of a friend. Baby. I said, Lord, okay. Y'all keep on. I said, that's interesting. It's just all the way around the time this stuff started coming out. And I was just like, next thing you know, Blackpink's on tour. I was like, what? I'm like, oh, what? I'm like, they finna go on tour. Like, since when? Are they going on tour now? I'm like, okay. They going on tour. That was quick. They was like, you better get your ass out there and get on tour. They was like, you better get on this tour. They like, how much bad stuff we gotta release before you get your ass out there? She's like, I'm good. We're going on tour. Yep, we're going on tour. I was like, damn. I was like, that was quick. So yeah, I don't know, but it just sounded like, it just seemed a little strange to me. I like I said, I try to keep my comments to myself. I'll spill some of the tea, but I don't be trying to spill all of it because, again, I'm not a gossip channel, but I'm just here to spread fun and mirth. But I'm going to show y'all a video. Wait a minute. I'm trying to find this video that I'm going to show y'all. And then we're this is the Kiki and the Caw faction. They need to release the documents they had on HYBE. They didn't have no documents. That's what I'm saying. They lied. They lied. They lied about the documents. They didn't have no. Wait a minute. I'm going to show y'all a video. Yeah, they didn't have no documents. They sat there and said they had documents for every company in this child. I was like, if y'all had documents on BTS, they would have released them documents. Y'all know BTS, all army was sitting around. We held our breath. We're like, and then they was like, well, we ain't got nothing. I'm like, motherfucker. They like, here's some fake Jenny and V photos. I'm like, this what y'all got? Y'all ain't got nothing on BTS? Oh my God. Oh no, they you talking about the court case? Oh no. They ain't nothing. Have you heard about TXT and American Tour? Yes. Somebody reported their leadership, and I said it was illegal for him to be in the United. No, it's not illegal for him to be in the United States. No, I don't know who reported that. It's not illegal for him to be in the United States. How is it illegal for him to be in the United States? Before they go on tour, they have to get visas. It costs a lot of money to get a visa too. But yeah, TXT HYBE, yeah, they have to get visas before they even go on tour. I saw TXT in 2022. We're thinking about going TXT. They coming to Dallas in November, and I think we're going. I think we're going. I think we're going. So, but there's a video that I posted with it talking about, imagine if you're a staff and there's a video of Sugar BTS. Baby, I watched this video and see the staff. I told my friend, I couldn't be a staff. I couldn't be staff. And there are so many people that want to work in the K-pop industry. And like I said, I'm going to come out a video and tell y'all like what staff really do is hard to be a staff member. It's not as glamorous. I couldn't be, they had a video of Yoongi and his staff. I couldn't be staff. Like this girl had to put the necklace on. I'd be shaking. I'd be like, you know, they be blow drying his hair and then he has to pull his pants down and put some other pants on. I can't do it. Purple said, I don't know, but they posted a screenshot of it on X. I think received a bunch of backlash by Moa, so they deleted it. It was going to repost. I had to see it. I don't know how they would get that screenshot. Again, this is not, whenever they go on tour, this is not something done at the last minute. They have to secure all their visas. So that doesn't even make any sense. And then ICE would not pick up a K-pop singer. And it's not like, and then they're going on a whole United States. Wait a minute. The Dallas tour starts in November, but I think they've already been in the United States. I don't know when TXT tour starts. I can't look it up right now. But I think I don't know if the US leg of tour has started or it's about to start. No, I didn't see Baby Monster. Yeah, I'm about to say they're here now. How would they not be here on yeah, baby, I'm not in the girl groups. Girl, okay, DJ, wait a minute. Okay, I'm finna, like, y'all distracted me. Anyway, like, I was talking about this video. Like, I could not be, let me go down here into the video. This couldn't be me. Like, this could not be me. Like, I'm finna show y'all. All right, Miss Man. Girl, AK, girl. See, I'm finna show y'all this video. Let me back it up a little bit. Let me back it up. So we're gonna turn the camera around a little bit. We're gonna push it this way. And I'm going to push it this way. And to my right, Miss Mitch. Deidre's over there using my other government name. My other government name. Oh shit. So, but what's your government name? That's my other government name. So we're just gonna turn it around this way. And now I'm gonna put this video on first. Cause I'll be like, I couldn't, okay. So it's on, okay. Okay, I'm finna turn the video around so y'all can see what I'm looking at. Because I looked at this video today and I'm like, nah, that couldn't be me. Let me take it off because I have to get closer because I don't think I can zoom in properly. So anyway, we're gonna go. It's time for story time with Kiki. We finna go over here. Like I couldn't. Let me see. Let me make sure it's on mute because I don't want the sound to play. Okay, so here we go. Okay, this is the video. So somebody's like, this is Yoongi and his staff. I couldn't do this. Like this couldn't be me. I was like, what is happening here? See, did hair dryer? There's a staff. Look at the dedicated staff back here. Look. She's so dedicated. Then she got to put this. She got to put the chain on. She got to do the hair. First of all, I'm not a hairdresser. I don't know how to do no hair, so I couldn't do it. Look. So then the hairstylist, she was like, she was enjoying her time. So they just is showing what a staff do. Okay, this is normal. No, I know some of y'all want to be staff members. I know y'all are like, ooh, I want to work in K-pop. I want to be a staff member. I couldn't do that job. Let me put y'all back. On it. I could not do that job. I cannot do. If I was doing that job, it would go something like this. First of all, I would have my top on. Okay. First of all, I have my push-up bra. And I'll be like, let me just go ahead and just put this on here. Just let me just. Child, child, I would be, my shirt would be like this. I'll be like, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Let me bend over and pick that up for you. I got it. I got it, Yoongi. I got it. Let me just go ahead and just pick this up. Yup, you see it? I got it. Oh, yeah, I got it. I got it. I have no shame. Anyway, like I couldn't. You know, girl. Oh, God. I be like, I need a drink of water. I need to. I'm just thirsty. I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. It's hot back here. Backstage, I'm hot. I'm hot back here. I'm hot back here. They be like, girl, what you doing? Ah! Because I figure like I'm sitting backstage and I'm like, okay. I'm like, I gotta shoot my shot real quick. Like, I mean, you expect me to work. You expect me, and I'm gonna work, and I'm not gonna shoot my shot. Your child, please. I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, this is my chance. Okay, like this my like I be pep talking myself. I was like, okay, girl, just do your job, and I be trying to do my. I would do my job, but she said the. AK, I'm grown. You expect me to be like, I'll be really, really nervous. But then, like, this is my chance. This is my chance. Like, this is my chance. Like, okay. I'm like, okay, this is your chance. I'm like, okay, do something. Okay, let me pull my shirt down. Let me push my girls up a little bit and just, how you doing? Girl, the girls will be all, I mean, like I would be shameless. Like it would just be like so. They'd be like, "Girl, what you doing? You supposed to be working, working." I am like, this is my chance. I was like, okay, should I shoot my shot now or later? I'm like, well, I just throw some titties in his face real quick. Just put the titties in his face. Like I'm going to put some titties in the face. Like I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm grown. I'm a grown ass woman. I'm putting titties in your face. That's just all to it. I mean, if you the twins we asked would be at attention, girl, I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'm like, this is my shot. I'm gonna shoot my shot. Like this is my opportunity. I ain't gonna I'm gonna shoot my shot. Like I'm not gonna let my opportunity just go to waste. Like I feel like I got this. It's like, okay, girl, you got this. So that would be my reality. So I don't know how people would work. I don't know what they do, but I would shoot. And again, if y'all think I'm the only person that's thought this way, I promise you, I'm not the only person. I promise you that there is someone on staff right now as we speak who are working for Stray Kids and was like, "Oh, Felix, girl, let me get out here. Let me get." Because you got to come up there, you be cute. You be like, oh, hey, Felix, how you doing? Hey, Felix, I promise you, there is some wayward staff who are thinking like, if I could just, corner him somewhere, I give you, girl, you don't have to shoot your shot. If you're going to be in that position, please, any staff watching this, please shoot your shot. Because you never know when, you're going to work that concert again. Girl, I would be like, okay, we're going to just throw the girls in his face real quick. Because after a while, I mean, unless he's gay, then that's another thing. Okay. But after all, he's a man. Like a man gonna look, a man gonna be like, oh, okay. Like, regardless of what kind of man it is, if a man is straight, he gonna look. Like he gonna be like at least glance down a little bit and be like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. And maybe laugh a little bit. Deidre says she would try to ignore, and just be a friend. Girl, there ain't no friendship here. Girl, I'm just gonna keep it real with you, Deidre. There's no friendship. I'm just gonna keep it 100%. There's no friendship here. there's no, there's no friends to be made here. I'm like, there's no friends to be made. And like I said, and what I think is so funny is that, people, I be in these BTS like spears, and then people, even our right fan fiction situation at bit, girl, it won't even go that far. I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna say that. If my sister-in-law was watching this live stream, she would out me. She'd be like, we all know what she really wants. I was like, what? Girl, did you tell me I'm innocent? I ain't want nothing. I'm just innocent. I'm innocent. There was nothing innocent about me. There will never be anything innocent about me. You feel like you would get carried away? Like, yeah, like what? Girl, my freak flag always be flying high, full mast, full. You have to salute my freak flag. You have to salute that flag. You have to say a pledge of allegiance to the freak flag. I be flying, baby. Like all my flags be flying all the time, all 24/7. But yeah, I couldn't work without it. Like it would just be too. It would. And girl, I'm gonna tell you, like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, I had a dream about REM the other night. Freaky baby. Big Bad Barry know what it's up. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, there's no denying. If you know me, you be like, Keisha be talking about some. If y'all read my fan fiction, y'all be like, because like I said, people talk about BTS members, they want to date them and marry. I don't want to date or marry any BTS member. That's not where my heart lies. That's not where my soul. I feel it in my spirit. I feel it in my spirit, deep down. Like I'm not going to marry. I don't want to marry anybody. I don't want to be your girlfriend. I don't want to be your wife. I don't want none of that. Now, sugar. I don't want none of that. I just want one night. just not even a night. Just give me, I don't know, give me 30 minutes. Okay? Just give me 30 minutes, sugar. We good. We got 30 minutes? 30 minutes. Let's go. We got good. Like 30 minutes. You were right, our girl. One of the reasons, many reasons we're friends. Yes, I like my erotic stuff. So even though I will save the matrimony and the love for my fan fiction, but really deep down inside, I'm like, I'm not. How that song go by Alistair? What is that? Don't go looking for love. That's my song. There ain't no love in me. Don't go looking for love. No love. No, there you no, don't come looking for love here. There's no love here. There's none. There's none. Oh my God, is Marlon still on here? If Marlon is still on here, I apologize. Let me apologize ahead of time because I forgot. Sam, when are you coming to bed? Y'all are. See? AK. But you can't have RM, girl. I had a dream about RM the other night, and it was a really sweet dream. Did you write fan fiction about working for sugar? I do. I have a whole. Marie said you busted. Girl, you better get off this live stream and go to bed. I do write fan fiction. I do. I really do about working. Yes, I do. Working with BTS, not just sugar BTS. I have a whole story. I have a whole story. It may Look, see, Marlon, you gonna have them talking. They go down, never live this down. Y'all be like, ooh, I'm like, oh God, like no, kids, no. Don't have them up here talking. She told me my dreams of RM is always bad and he's my vibe. Really? I have dreams about RM. I had a sweet, okay, let me tell y'all something. I never have dreams about my bias. I had one dream about my bias. It's called I had one dream about my bias and it was not good. I told you I had a nightmare about my bias. And so any other time I've only had three dreams about BTS and two of them were nightmares. One of them was a nightmare about Sugar, one was a nightmare about JK and Jim and they were trying to kill me on an island. Pour some sugar on me. Ooh, in the name of love. That was a song back in the day. But yeah, I've had two bad dreams. And then the other night, I watched RM's live and I fell asleep with his live. And then I woke up with it and then I recorded it. And then I posted his live and then I fell back asleep. And that's when I had a dream about RM. And my dream about RM goes like this. I had a dream that I was in LA and then I was at a museum or art gallery thing. And then RM came up to me and all right. Anyway, I'm distracted. Y'all stop. RM came up to me and he started talking to me. And then because I was standing in the corner and I was all like just doing because I'm a real shy person. So I was just standing in the corner, just talking, blah, 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 blah. And well, not talking, but I was in the corner like looking at my phone and he came up to me and he was like, he just started talking to me. He's like, so you're just gonna stand in the corner or whatever, da, da, da. And I was like, oh my God. And so I pretended like I didn't know who he was because that's what I would do. I was like, no, no. I said, it just, and I remember I was dressed to the nines. I had like this red dress on. My hair was like all done. I was all looking all cute. And then, he was like, and I told him, I said, I'm just visiting here anyway. But he was like, do you like art? And I was like, I love art. And so I love art. So I'm an artist. Not only do I write, but I also do physical art. And so I was telling him, I love art and I'm an artist. And he was like, oh my God, that's so awesome. And da da da. And then he was like, well, how long are you going to be in LA? I mean, and I was like, well, I'm going to be here 7 days. I don't know why I was in LA for 7 or 8 days or whatever. And then so we were talking a little bit and then he got distracted. Like his manager pulled him away to go meet some other people. And I was like, okay. So I didn't think anything of it. So then it like my dream flashed forward and I was going for a walk. I was just going for a walk on the boulevard and I read 7 days a week. Then I ran into him again and he was like, hey, you. I said, hey, you at the and then he was like, well, I didn't even introduce myself. And I said, okay. And he was like, well, my name is Namjoon. And I was like, okay, well, my name's Kiki. What's up? And so again, I didn't pretend that I knew him. And then he was like, I was like, oh, well, I like, how long are you going to be here? And he was like, well, I'm going to be here a month. And then we like chatted up and walked a little bit. And he was like, okay, fine. Then fast flashed in my dream. I'm at a party, like I'm dressed casually though, but I'm at some event. It was like it wasn't a birthday party. It was a gathering with a bunch of people that I somehow knew these people. So I showed up and I was dressed really casually. And then I see him and I'm like, it's Namjoon. And then somebody was like, well, you know who that is? And I was like, who? They're like, this BTS. And I was like, yeah, I kind of know that already. And then we were sitting around a group of people at somebody's house and we were just sitting around. And I remember like people were drinking and I kicked my shoes off. And then I swear to God, y'all, I swear to God, I kicked my shoes off. And then he was making fun of my socks. My socks were like these really like brightly loud socks. Cause again, I came casual. It was a casual thing. And so everybody was dressed casually. And I remember I kicked my shoes on and he was making fun of my socks. And he was like, look at these socks. He's like, yo, look at these socks. And I was like, oh my God. And he was like, these socks are definitely interesting. I said, you don't like my socks? And he was like, that's a look. And he was like, that's some socks. He's like, those socks ain't. He's like, not. He's like, nah. He's like, nah. Those socks aren't cute. But he was like, but everything above the socks is. And I was like, girl, we was comfortable, girl. And I remember, and that like stuck in my brain because I'm like, is he really flirting with me? And I'm like, because I never know if men are flirting with me because I'm stupid. But I don't have those like social cues. So I was really not understanding why he was talking to me. I thought we were just being friendly, but when he said that, he was like, I was like, is he really flirting with me? I was like, he is really flirting with me because he was like, well, everything above the socks. He's like, but everything above the socks. And he said it, and it was a really corny, like the way he said it was kind of corny and cheesy. And you could see he was kind of nervous. He was just real endearing and corny in my dream, but real cute with it. And I was like, oh, he's really flirting with me. And I was like, and I started laughing and I said, really? He's like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was smooth. I was like, that's a smooth line. I was like, oh, all right, I see you. And then so like I remember like he was like, okay, a bunch of people were exchanging numbers and we all exchanged numbers. And so I like went home not thinking nothing of it. And then I remember like the next day, I was looking at my text and I got a text from him and he was like, hey, I swear to God, I remember this like it was a real message. He was like, we're going to an Indian restaurant on Friday. Do you want to go? Hey, this is Namjoon. And I replied, I was like, yes. And I was like, I cannot believe RM of BTS wanted me to go. And I was like, yes, send me the address and I'll be there. And so I was so excited. And then I remember like I went out of my house. I was reading his text message and I went for a walk again. I ran into him again. And he was like, where are you going? And I said, walking. I said, where are you going? He was like, well, wherever you're going, I'm going. And I said, okay. And then I woke up and that was it. You love my dream? What? She said, wait till Sugar find out. Sugar was like, bitch, what you doing? That was my dream. I love my dream too. Like, if you could just see me wake up, I had this look on my face and I'm like even when I tell the dream, it brings like, cause he was corny and shy and just real genuine kind of guy, and he was real smooth with it. And like I said, the sock thing, I will never forget that. Like this was in my dream. Like I'm gonna use that for one of my stories because he was like, I was like, man, those socks are ugly. But he was like, but everything above the socks is definitely not ugly. He said, no, everything above the socks is beautiful. I said, oh, okay, cheating on Sugar. Look, the dream I had about Sugar, he was beating me up, girl. I could, you know what? That's it. But I have never had a dream about a BTS member. RM that was good. RM is the third BTS dream I've had, and it was good. And it was so smooth, and he was so sweet, and he was so just corny with it that I'm like, and I like that kind of guy. I like a guy who's kind of awkward and kind of corny at the same time. That's the kind of guy I really like. And I thought it was. I said I can't wait to tell my subscribers about this dream because it's very, very, very sweet and dear. It even brings a smile to my face because I'm like, if I met a guy like that in real life, I don't know, what I would do if I met a dude that was just that kind of flirty. Because again, I don't live in a world where like men flirt with me and like anything like that. Look. What? Okay, Marlon. Wait a minute. We hold on, time out, everybody. Okay, Marlon. Now look, listen. You are not a flirter, so I'm talking to Marlon right now. He is not a flirter, and he knows it. And I don't know why he come on here and try to be like he Mr. Flirty Flirt. We've been on Marlon and I have been on some outings, and so that's all I can say. Deidre said, date him who? I would date Judy. You know what, y'all? I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. For those of you who read my fan fiction on Wattpad, I have a whole separate story where my main character is she comes to a crossroads as time goes on. Like in the next couple of weeks, my character will come to a crossroads. And then I have the story where it continues along with Sugar. Then I wrote another story that was with Namjoon, like because she comes to a crossroads with these two people, but she chose Sugar. She didn't choose Namjoon. But I have a story where she actually chose Namjoon and see like how different their lives would have been. So yeah, I do have a Junie story and I have a Sugar story. But my Junie story is not that good. Like I don't think it's that good because my heart is not really into that story. But I think my Junie story, like don't anyway, no, I'm not gonna run into J-Hope. Mr. J-Hope can stay. J-Hope is just my in my story, J-Hope and my main character are like brother and sister. And that's how I feel like me and J-Hope would be. I don't have any those feelings for J-Hope. Like I like Jimin. Jimin is like girl. Jim is my girl. Like I know Jimin is straight, and I've always felt like Jimin is straight. But Jim is my girl. Like Jimin, me and him would be friends. J-Hope, this is my story. They friends. Jen is is like the younger brother. You know, it's like I don't have any of those. Jungkook is like my little nephew. Like I don't have any Freelands. But for Sugar and RM, you could see like where in my fan fiction how it's going to splinter. Like, and then you could see how like if I would have chose this over that, you could see how I easily could have how not my character could have easily made that choice. That it could have went that my character could have indulged RM a little bit more and been more patient, or she could have just fell in with Sugar, but she decided to fall in with Sugar and not do RM. But I wrote I do have two stories, but I haven't my Junie story. I haven't published it. I stopped writing it like because my heart wasn't really in it, girl. My heart wasn't really in that Junie story. As much as I love Namjoon and feel like he is husband material, my passion was with Sugar. Like it always, my writing is so much better. But when Namjoon my writing, I'm just sitting there going, hmm. Not even Jay killing it, girl. Not even Jay killing it, girl, honey. Nice body, but not y'all gonna get me in trouble. Anyway, last year, you know what? You know, I have to live through my fan fiction because my real love life is non-existent. My BTS, what's FMK pics? What is that? Long hair Sugar. Oh my God. I had to breathe because that just I don't know what's FMK. What does that mean? What does that mean, AK? FMK. Oh, Sugar. Um, RMV. I have a secret. I have a secret, y'all. I really don't like Kim Tae-young. I don't like V. There's just something about him that I don't really like. And I've had this conversation with other people, and they've said this. There's something. Why would I kill V? I don't know. Like if I were to kill one of them, it's gonna be V. I don't know what. There's just something about V that I just don't. I don't. He's very talented, very good looking guy. But there's just something about V that I don't know. It's just something in my spirit. I don't put it in my writing though, but it's just something I thought about. And I've mentioned this to other people, and they're like, well, you know, something about him that just don't sit right in my spirit. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I perceive him as being arrogant. It's something I don't bring up very often. But I wouldn't kill none of them. But if I got to kill one off, like we talking about for the good of the group, for the good of the group, it wouldn't be V. I was like, well, this group got to survive. So go, Jen, go. You know. You love Tay for real, for real? Oh my God. There's nothing wrong with that. Tay is not my cup of tea. He is not, I would not, no. He's a little too quiet. He seems a little bit sneaky. He seems like the type of dude that probably cheat on you all day. He would have like 6 girlfriends and you be like one of them. J-Hope, now J-Hope seems a sweetheart. I like J-Hope. He seems like a sweetheart, but it's just not my type. Tim Tae-young, again, gorgeous guy, but just not my type. This is not my. I like the quiet. I don't like. I do. I have 2 types of men that I like. I like the Namjoon, the really smart, the smart, the cerebral, the kind of corny guys. That sounds very familiar, like somebody I know. Anyway, but I like the guys that are kind of funny and kind of corny, and those are the type of dudes I would want to be with. But then there's another type of dude. No, AK Dick Grimes is Sugar, like he is Sugar all the way, all the way. I told people I married a Jen. My late husband is Jen. I married a Jin. Now he wasn't worldwide handsome, but he was cute. But I married a Jin. Jin reminds me so much of my late husband, just the way he acts, his sarcasm. He reminds me very much of my late husband. He's one to play video games, and Jin is always on business. Jin's a hard worker, but Jin's fun and kind of childlike and kind of fun. But then deep down inside, he stay on business though. And I married a Jin. So I married a man that act just like Jen. He reminds me a lot of my late husband. Me and my late husband were good friends. We were friends before we got together. We play video games. We watch wrestling together. We had a lot of things in common. Jen gives me that energy of my late husband. I was in a 6 year relationship with a sugar. I was in a relationship with a man who was non emotional, who was very like quiet and cool, who was very like just not very affectionate or a warm, like physically affectionate person. He was a person that took care of things. Sugar reminds me a lot of that. Who just takes care of things. He'll take care of you. He'll do things for you. My ex would come over and build stuff and fix my tie. He was just very kind of quiet and still like that. But that's the reason why we're not together, because I he was not a very emotionally connected person, and that's one of the many reasons why we're not together. There's other reasons, but that's one of the many reasons that we butt heads. I need somebody that's warm and affectionate and intelligent and all that. I need a man like Namjoon. Namjoon would be my equal. Like, we would both like to talk philosophy and religion and because I'm into that, and we would talk about art, and I love art, and I like high-minded things. I like to have intellectual conversations. And Namjoon seems just goofy and smart and the kind of dude that I would be like, okay, that's the kind of man I would settle down with. But like I said, I have no desire to settle down with Sugar. In my fan fiction, I do. And she goes through hell. My character, when she gets with Sugar, it is a explosive kind of thing. It is heat and cold and hot and cold and hot and cold and hot and cold and fight, 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 fight. Or lots of argument, lots of just crazy things that happen for her to stay in this relationship with this person. But she feels drawn to Sugar in a way that she's never experienced. But he's still, the way he was very toxic. And so I see that. Can't give up on Sugar's. Oh my God. Katina. Jen reminds me of my dad, seriously. Hi, Farida. Farida forever. Jen reminds you of your dad. Jen reminds me so much of my late husband. Just the same exuberance. My late husband liked to joke a lot, and he was sarcastic a lot. And he would say things to you, and you'd be like, is that a joke or is he serious? But sometimes he was not a serious person. Like, my late husband was very much a Jen. He was very, like, you see, every time I see Jen smile or say something funny or laugh, that cackling laugh was my late husband's laugh. My late husband would laugh, laugh. We would laugh so much, he would have me laughing. I would have him laughing because I'm funny, he's funny, and we were just two very funny people. But I was a little bit more serious than my late husband liked to play video games. Like, it was just, he had a very young, exuberant energy that I was attracted to and I liked. But we started out as friends. But the Sugar thing, but my ex, who I was with for 5 years, is smoldering. Like, he is the smolderer. And I like smoldering. I like the man who like, like, there's, child, I'll be ready I'll be ready to risk it all for a man that smolders. A man that's just real quiet. But then every once in a while, my ex, he'd get real goofy. He was smart. Like Sugar, he would loosen up and smile and be really goofy and funny with me sometimes. But then other times, when he's around everybody else, he's very like, he had that stillness. But Namjoon is what I want. That's the man. If I ever have another relationship, I want my Namjoon. That's good for me. Someone who's intelligent, smart. Yes, I saw Jen take a lie detector test. It reminded me a lot of my late husband. But I want somebody that's smart and kind and yeah. So I like that. And somebody's humble and I like that. Sugar has like like an ego to him that I see it, and it's cute to me. But for some people, I can see why some people would find it off-putting. But Sugar does have an ego to him that he hides, but you can see it sometimes. Like, you can see it come out like certain times that he, it'll flash a little bit, then he'll bury it back. But Sugar has a swag to him and an ego to him that he knows he's talented, and he may be one of these tortured talented people. But when he has everything all done, I'm sure Sugar sees. I mean, he has a right to have a little swag to him. Sugar did some things. He's musically, I would say he's very talented. He's one of the most talented people in music I've seen in a long time. But I did see Jen's lie detector test, and I thought it was hilarious. And I was like, that sounds so much like my late husband. It just reminds me of him. Like the song that Jen sings background. Like I'm thinking about it now. Like if you Lord have mercy, I'm gonna start crying. If you listen to Jen's song background, when I heard it in concert, I started crying because that song reminds me a lot of my late husband. Like I just the lyrics, um, it just makes me think that like I'm moving through life and I feel like my late husband's in the background. Like always. Like I feel like that song gets me a real I love the song, but it gets me so emotional when I hear background by Jen. Just to hear him sing it, it just, he's talking about even in another place in another time. Yeah, I'm here in the background. Like I just feel like that song hits me in a way that like no song has ever haven't hit me in a long time. That song hits me hard. Um, it makes me like even thinking about it makes me very emotional. It reminds me of my late husband. Background by Jen. If you ever heard the song, it's a beautiful song. If you listen to the lyrics, you will understand why. Like he sang the song in Dallas, and I would like tears. And my sister-in-law looked at me, Jennifer, and she's like, "Are you crying?" Because I don't ever cry. But I was like, she's like, "Why are you crying?" And I told her I was so choked up. I'm like, I can't explain right now. We're in the middle of a concert. I couldn't explain it to her. But that's the reason why, because every time I hear that song, it makes me think of my late husband. And when Jen sings, he sings background, and I'm just like, that song just be gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Um, and so like at that time when we went to the Dallas Jen concert, um like every once in a while I have a lot of thoughts about my late husband lately. Like I've had more thoughts about him lately. And so that song, yes, that song gets me in my feels. I listen to that song like I can barely listen to it, but it gets me all of my feelings, y'all. Give me all my feelings. But yeah, I mean when BTS, when it comes to the members and um how I see the members, I want all of them to be happy and healthy and get wives or husbands or whatever it is that they want one day, or be bachelors for the rest of their life, whatever. Rest in peace and hugs, my friend. I know. And then I think about, I don't really be thinking about Dick Grimes though. I don't think about my last relationship. He tried to oh shit. Let me stop. Too many people be what? I like to say hello to my ex. But I'm be honest though. Like I'll be honest, even though my ex subscribes to my channel, watches my video, I'm be honest. Like me and my ex, I loved him a lot, but my ex did things in our relationship that fucked it up, and he knows that. And he watches these videos, and you know this, that he did things to ruin us, and he ruined us. And so my ex, he know that. He know he did things, he messed things up in our relationship. And there's no coming back from that. The things that he did in our relationship, it wasn't nothing that serious, but it's just the neglect and it's just, my ex, he just don't know how to be in a relationship. And so, like I said, Sugar just reminds me a lot of my ex. Like the way he carries himself, I could see him being this, kind of person. Oh, gotta roll. Okay, I'm fixing to get off here in a minute too. Bye bye, AK. The Rose song Trauma, it's really deep and beautiful. I gotta listen to that song. I gotta read the lyrics. But thank you, AK, for being here, girl. I appreciate it. But yeah, you know, I like my man a little smart, a little girl. And then, again, that sounds like somebody I know. Wait, is Marlon still on here? Anyway, y'all, I'm being messy tonight, y'all. I am being messy, messy, messy tonight. Oh my God, y'all. I know y'all probably like, what? I was like, I want somebody smart, and I want somebody nice and cute and kind of goofy. I was like, wait a minute. Who does that sound like? I don't. Go to bed. All my exes, go to bed. If you're watching this video, if you are an ex of mine, go to sleep. Go to bed. Marlon, go to bed. Marlon's not an ex, y'all. But let me right. Marlon is not an ex. Every time I come here, I'll be like, y'all, this is my friend for real. We are just friends, y'all. Even though he come on here and be saying some wild stuff, talking about you need to come to bed. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. I am in bed. There is nobody next to me in bed. There ain't nobody here. Bitch, there's a BTS pillow. That's it. Wait a minute. That's it. Oh, I need to eat, y'all. But anyway, I'm fixing to get off this live stream. I take Katina, AK. Who else was here? Deidre, all my members, everybody, Marie. Again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please like, share, subscribe to the video. If you have not signed up for a membership, you want to know about more tea spill. I might tell my members the name of the group. Thank you, Deidre. If you guys, that's what V said in this video. But I might, again, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I might tell y'all the name of whatever group. I'll probably tell y'all during the week to my members what's the name of this group. So I will tell y'all. So if you're a member, I'm going to drop the name, and then y'all can go and look up the group and be like, oh, okay. And y'all see which group that I'm talking, the boy band, the boy group where the guy, the CEO, beat the boy up. And I will tell you which member it was and what I've heard for the ones who subscribe to my membership. So like, share, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate y'all, everybody. I'm here every Saturday unless something comes up and then I have to reschedule. But I'm here every Saturday. I appreciate everybody for being here. Tiny Tans is out on the 23rd. Okay, 23rd. I got a Tiny Tan. I got more videos coming out. I got videos that come out, like I got shorts, and I got make sure you watch my shorts, and I have real videos coming out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I think, or Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I usually have 3 videos a week, and then shorts, and then other things. So anyway, y'all, until next weekend, y'all, break it down. Don't be going out there putting no titties in nobody's face. I know y'all.